Oh. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Who we 186 back again with the Overrated Podcast, episode 99. So 99 official episodes of the Overrated Podcast. This is who we 186.
They actually would have been 100 if you had counted Saturday's podcast.
Yeah, but we didn't really talk. It wasn't really a formal episode. You know what I mean? We didn't really talk about. We didn't really talk about any real topics. Just your experience as CEO. But
I consider my extravaganza, my great experience is a topic, just because it wasn't in an article. I still think it counts. My feelings count, sir.
are you arguing over whether or not your thing would have been a topic?
Oh man, no, dude, I'm trolling, man. I'm trolling. Relax. Anyway, this is the Traditionalist 101. And even though he said it wasn't necessarily a podcast, we are going to continue of what we left off. And we still have tons and tons of stuff to talk about, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. But before we start, question for you is, how was the weekend? Oh, I know what you did. You worked. Did you do anything else?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll tell what I did. So we had I think we had, I think it was 2 rescues, and I am officially a one of the one of the leaders at the ministry. So I'm still, even though I am officially a leader, I'm still in shock that I am, especially this quickly. But all I'm gonna do is embrace it, and hopefully, I will be able to continue to change lives, and people will decide to save their babies instead of killing them. But with all that being said, I'm happy, where I am, and I'm just gonna continue to serve the Lord and be the best Christian that I could be. Other than that, my weekend was great. Church was great. Still trying to catch up on all of my Bible reading, my comic book reading, and yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to what's to come. Anyway, what you gonna do for July 4th?
Work.
Of course, work. That's nice, man. And for me, I was thinking about shooting a whole bunch of fireworks, but for the fact that once again, a lot of people are probably not going to chip in as far as putting money. Fireworks are very, very expensive nowadays, and I don't think I have the time to shoot all of them. And if people are not going to partake, there's really no point for me to spend a whole bunch. So all I'm really gonna do is I'm gonna shoot fireworks, but I'm just gonna use the fireworks that I didn't use last year. So I have a couple of cakes, I have a couple of fountains, I think a rocket or two. I'm just gonna use all of them that I have, and then that's it. So it's gonna be like a short um, celebration for me. But I just want to say that happy 4th of July to everybody. And if you have to work like Hoovy 186 over here, my bad. I'm sorry. But it is what it is.
Hmm. It really isn't that big of a deal for me. I don't. I really don't care about Fourth of July like that. Um,
I
you
could have
know,
sworn you said that was one of your favorite holidays before.
yeah, when I was a little some time ago, but not now. Not I don't really care to be honest with you.
Oh, now you don't care. Okay, you don't care at all. Do you have a favorite holiday? Can you hear me? I think Hoovy is gone. I think Hoovy is gone. If the guys that's
What's
on the
going on,
chat.
Ruben?
Oh, you back?
Yeah, yeah. Let me. I'm gonna switch mode. I'm gonna switch settings. So just hold down the fort before I come back. All right.
All right, sure, yeah, sure. All right, so he's gone. He's gone. At least for right now, he's gone, and he's gonna be. Looks like he still has technical difficulties with his modem or with his router. But I'm wondering if you guys are gonna be shooting fireworks, or are you guys gonna be going to the beach? Are you going to barbecue, or probably just gonna go out? I know people are probably just gonna maybe go to the movies or whatnot, because they don't have to work. Like for me, I don't have to work tomorrow, and so I'm trying to figure out exactly what my plans are going to be, because once I shoot all my fireworks, like that's it. It's it's gonna be a short week, but I still will celebrate somewhat. I mean, it is Independence Day after all. We have our independence and free from Great Britain, and it's all great. You know what I'm saying? Like to celebrate freedom, to celebrate the fact that we're independent, to celebrate um, as a nation, together. Yeah, it's a great thing. So hopefully that we're not going to have any type of violence whatsoever. We're not going to have any of this pride stuff. Let's just all come together as people and celebrate our independence, and just appreciate that we still have our freedoms and that we are in America, try to live the American dream. Hopefully that's going to happen, and we're not going to have any type of mishaps tomorrow. So we'll have to see, wait and
Can you
see.
hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you, but I'm worried that you're gonna disappear again.
No.
So what did you do?
No, I just switched to my modem. So what the fuck? What the fuck? All right. Well, anyway, whatever. Anyways, yeah. So, yeah,
What?
I work tomorrow.
Uh
Shout out to Ruben. He asked me, time and a half. No, we don't do that at my job.
huh.
They're too cheap. Um,
Oh gosh.
but even so, it's on a day that I work anyway. So it's like, it is what it is. Anyways, so yeah, so Ruben, shout out to you. Night, you just got off of work, so 9:30 is a fantastic time to start on your time. Yeah, it wasn't by choice. I just had a bunch of stuff I had to do, and it took me till pretty much till 8 o'clock to get done with all that stuff. So that's why we started a little later. So
Yeah. Plus, I was getting alignment on my vehicle, so that's why we couldn't really start in time. But I didn't know you had stuff to do either. I didn't know that.
yeah, unfortunately, I had stuff to do.
Okay, well, you got your stuff done. I got my stuff done, so we're happy with that. He says Nolan says the phone was better last cast. Hmm. I'm
I
thinking.
we no like No, everything. No, everything. No, the cast was better last time because my internet was fine. Um, I don't know what's going on today. But I'll see if I can figure it out. I'll see if I can get into my router and see what's going on. And Nolan said that he's driving to St. Lucie.
Oh,
So,
snap! Nice.
mhm. And Ruben said that he got off tomorrow, just gonna make some ribs and chill at the apartment. Hey man, that's cool, man.
Yeah. I mean, while you were gone, I did say I know a lot of people are going to be doing that. Whether it's, making their burgers, their chicken, their ribs, and whatnot. Some are just going to go to the beach, watch the fireworks. So I know it's going to be a very nice day for most people. It's just unfortunately for you, you have to go to work, and people who work at the hospital have to work. If you work at the airport, you have to work. So, oh, and the hotel business. If you're in a hotel, yeah, you have to work there also. So, I mean, my apologies to all of you, including Hubi 186, despite the fact that he doesn't care. But we still wish you all a happy Fourth. Try to enjoy it as much as you can. Hopefully,
Yeah, yeah. Don't get your fingers blown off. Um,
yeah. We seem to get that every year.
yeah. Anyways, do you have anything else to say before we start the podcast?
No. I pretty much hold down the fork like you told me to,
Mhm.
and plus we're late anyway. Like it's already 9:45, and it looks like this is gonna be a long podcast with all the topics that we have. But I'm still looking forward to
Nah, I think we
it.
should be fine. We should be fine. But anyways, yeah, you can start with the Nintendo Direct.
All right, so we have Nintendo, and Nintendo had giving us some quite a few games. And I'm gonna share the article real quick, but before I do, um, I don't know about you, and I don't know about anyone else on this chat, but let me ask you the question first,
Hmm.
because we didn't get to finish addressing it. When you are watching the Nintendo Direct or the Sony Xbox, Ubisoft, etc., how do you find out when are they going to showcase their stuff?
I mean, I follow them on Twitter.
Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Twitter. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so you follow them on Twitter, and then it goes on your feed, and that's how you're able to determine when their show is going to start.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, I had no idea. The only reason why I found out about it was my brother had told me about Nintendo Direct, and to me, if it seems like if what you're saying is true, then you probably wouldn't have never known when these showcases would start if you didn't follow them on Twitter. Do I have that right?
I mean, if you only consume, if you don't have any type of social media, then yeah, I agree. But
Okay, so you
if you do and you follow, Nintendo channels and stuff like that, you should know.
wait, say it one more time.
If you follow Nintendo or any type of or any of these other companies that do this stuff,
Hmm.
you should know.
Okay, you should know as long as you follow these companies.
Hmm.
Well, the reason why I have asked is that don't you find it a little odd that because when we talked about E3, I don't want to make this an E3 discussion. Shout out conspiracy agent. I don't think I've seen you in a while, but yeah, you and I still have a lot to talk about, man. Like we have a lot to talk about. It seems like there's so much drama that's been going on in Planet Fitness. But but the reason why I asked you about how do you find out when these showcases start is because I remember whenever E3 is being advertised or I remember the times where it was all over the website, like whether it's on the website or GeForce talking about it or game trailers just talking about it or you just watch it on YouTube. I remember back in the day it was thrown into your face and you knew when E3 was going to start. People would try to find ways how they could watch it online because I don't think it was on YouTube before. Like people would try to find ways to watch E3 online. Like there was so much effort being put in for the excitement of E3 showcase. To me, now you can tell me if I'm wrong. I don't feel the same way with all these different showcases. I don't. I don't feel the same excitement when
Oh yeah,
So
because they do multiple show. They do multiple shows a year. That's why there's no excitement. They do multiple shows a year. E3 is like one show every year. And you also have to take into account E3 back in the day was covered on TV on Spike TV.
hmm
You know,
but
you don't
wasn't it G4 TV first?
maybe I'm not 100% sure. Maybe,
Okay.
but obviously Spike TV, you're more of an audience, so remember that you remember that's the case too. But also more importantly, the thing is that a lot like you have multiple directs a year.
hmm Okay. Okay. Well, I just thought that it was very interesting because I don't seem to get that same excitement. Maybe it's because of that reason. I thought the reason what I was going to bring up was I was going to say, is this the cause? Is this because of the fact that we haven't been having E3 anymore, and so that the excitement or the anticipation for all these showcases is just not the same? Like nothing is live. We don't have a live audience. We just don't seem to have as many advertisement when it comes to it. And obviously, when we used to have after the show was over, we would have a lot of, whether it's G4 or game trailers or whatnot, would showcase all the different games that was displayed on E3 and so far and so forth. You don't get none of that anymore. So I pretty much think that the reason why the excitement isn't there is because you're obviously watching it online. You pretty much isolated, and you see what comes out, and then you just move on. Throughout your day. Like there is no more talking about the game. There's no more seeing fans on TV playing games. Like all that is gone, and I just feel like like this is another demonstration of why E3 was such a huge importance, at least for me. Now it may not be for you, but that's the one of the reasons why I just loved E3 so much. That was one of the reasons why, with the exception of birthdays or holidays or whatever, I would take the day off just so I could watch E3. I'm not doing that anymore to watch a Nintendo Direct or a Sony's showcase. I'm not doing that, for that. Like E3 was the sole reason why you would get together with your friends and watch an amazing show with all these different consoles or different, publishers coming as a unit together and display their games. You don't get that anymore. But again, I don't want to make this an E3 thing. I just wanted to share my thoughts and see what your position when it comes to that. So anything to say before I start?
No.
Okay. So Nintendo Direct has showed their game. So let me gonna share this real quick. And I don't wanna take the risk of playing the trailers and whatnot. I don't want Nintendo to ban us like they did before. But we do
I
have.
mean, we've covered Nintendo Directs before.
Did we show gameplay footage?
Yeah,
We did.
yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. And we didn't get in trouble. We didn't
No,
get no claims or strikes or anything like that.
I don't think so. No.
Okay, all right then. Well, then that's good. So here's some of the games that were
Oh,
out.
are you at Nintendo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa, 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 whoa. If something
No,
is wrong, you need to
no,
tell me.
it's fine. It's fine. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Okay, so these were some of the games that were out. Um, I look, some of the games that they showed, I felt like it was a waste of time in my opinion. So this game right here, let me see. Continue your adventure beyond the Paldea region, explore new areas, hidden treasure, zero DLC of the Pokemon Scarlet or Pokemon Violet games. Um,
Is that the latest one that came out?
I think so. But the problem is that what I have though is that I don't get that too excited for expansions unless I'm a real, I have to be like a real huge fan of the game. But if it's just really an expansion, like I just kind of pretty much dismiss it. Do you
I'm,
agree or?
no, I don't. I don't give a shit about Pokemon. I'm just trying to figure out if they actually fixed the game yet.
No, I do not know. I do not know. Now, the next one that they showed was the Mario Returns. Now, this is the one where you said don't show anything, right? Is it
No,
okay?
you can show it. You can show it.
Okay, so they.
You turn the volume down.
All right.
You can put it on mute.
Okay, on mute. Okay.
Yeah, put it on mute.
All right. So this is one of the games that they showed. Obviously, Mario RPG, and dude, it's been so long since a Mario RPG game had actually came out. It's been a long, long time, and from what I've heard,
Wait. Don't they have Mario? Isn't Paper Mario? Isn't some Paper Mario games RPGs?
is Paper Mario an RPG? You know what? That's a good question. Like I have a Paper Mario game, but I don't know if I would consider it an RPG. But maybe they do. But you know what I mean. Like I'm talking about like a real traditional RPG that's like this, like Final Fantasy,
Mm.
Suikoden, things like that. Um, Now I know you don't care about this game at all. I
Yeah,
know you.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Let me say something real quick. Right, we were
Yeah.
supposed to do a segment called the what's overrated at the moment, and I remember you brought it up. I forgot who suggested it to you, but I actually thought it was a good idea. We just never got a chance to implement it.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to do that today.
Okay.
Mario RPG. I'm not gonna sit there and say it's a bad game, or I'm not gonna say it's garbage, like I said earlier. I was just doing that to troll.
Okay. You doing that to
But
troll? Okay.
mhm. And you also have to remember when I was younger, I didn't know anything about RPGs. You know, what I mean, I didn't know nothing about the way it played.
Well, I mean, Zelda is technically an RPG.
Yeah, but I don't have to wait for people to attack me.
Okay.
A
Go ahead.
traditional RPG is it like when I played Super Mario. When I played Super Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo, right?
Hmm.
I was stunned by the combat. I was stunned by it,
Okay.
and I figured that I thought it was like a 3D Mario game, a Mario game but in 3D, kind of like a dumbed down version of Mario 64.
Okay. You there? Um, Hoovy, are you there? Okay, I think he's gone again. It looks like we're gonna have technical difficulties all over again with Hoovy 186. I just want to make sure those of you that's on the chat, can you do me a real quick favor? Can you put on the chat if you could hear me?
I wasn't a fan.
And oh, you're back.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, you were gone for at least 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds.
yeah. Oh yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Can you might as well try to backtrack a little bit if you can.
Look, I'm not gonna say the game is bad, but I think this is one of the most overrated games of all time.
Of all time now.
Of all time.
Okay.
It's not a bad game, but not as good as you guys make it out to be. And also, I think I saw something that I wanted to clarify. I wish I had time to do it.
Hmm.
I'm gonna look for the pricing of this game. Let me look it up. Give me your thoughts on the game while I look.
Yeah, looking at the gameplay. Look, you could never ever ever be let down when it comes to Mario, and then with the color, with the graphics, etc., etc. Um, I personally believe that with the talent that Nintendo have, like they could make a great RPG without having Mario in it. I truly believe that they could have an amazing RPG without putting a Mario title on there. They can, but if they feel like that they want to bring, I have to be consistent also, because I've always said that I want Nintendo to utilize the whole entire franchise and all the different games that they have. Now, this may be another Mario title, but it's an RPG that haven't came out for a very long time, and I am most certainly excited to play this game. Why? Because this will actually be my first time experiencing a full Mario RPG. Because I cannot remember. I think I did, but I truly cannot remember if I played the original Mario RPG game. I just can't remember if I did or if I just watched somebody play it. I can't remember. But regardless, I am excited for this game. I'm absolutely very excited, for this game because one, Nintendo really don't have that many RPGs in their franchise, with the exception of Fire Emblem and you could say Zelda, but other than that, they don't really have anything else. So for those little small reasons, I'm definitely looking forward for a different experience than a traditional platformer, a different experience than just running around saving the printers all the time. This is gonna be something different, and also I don't think they have a choice by being an RPG. That you have to have a story in it. You have to have some type of story to keep you engaged in the with the game overall. I don't necessarily think it would make any sense to have a RPG game with absolutely no story involved whatsoever. They have to have some type of critical thinking, some type of creation in order for you to enjoy the game in full, if you know what I'm saying.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the game, and when it comes out, it is going to be a first day buy for me.
Okay. They're $60. So for you guys, if you're interested, you can buy it. I'm good. I'm not gonna buy it.
You don't buy any RPGs, which is fine. Yeah,
Mm.
RPG is not your thing, and let's also be honest. Even if this was a regular Mario title, you probably wouldn't buy it anyway. So let's get that straight. The next one is Dragon Quest. Do you care? Oh yeah, you don't care about this game either.
No, it's
Dra-
RPG.
yeah, Dragon Quest is a game that I played on a DS a while back. I remember I bought it for my brother. He loved the game, and I said to myself, I want to also give this game a try. Also, I forgot what the gameplay is. Let me just play just a little bit of it. Um, not really that impressed, with the graphics. To be honest with you, not really that impressed with it. But it's the Switch, so this is what you're going to get. Um, on the quest for revenge. Okay, so it looks like you're going to be getting revenge for a particular reason. Looks like he's the main character, and then yeah, I mean, it looks fine. It looks okay, but I kept saying to myself, I have to give the game a try and see if I will fully enjoy the game, with the exception of the DS version. So this is for the console, and I'm gonna give this game a try. I'm not gonna watch the whole entire thing. I just want to let you all know that this is what the game is. I am going to try it, and yeah, we'll see how it works out. Let me see when the game's coming out. Oh, December 1st. Okay, December 1st. Pikmin. I'm not interested in Pikmin. Are you?
No,
You're not
but
interested.
that's the fourth one, right?
I honestly do not know, and I honestly do not care.
Mm.
Honestly, do not care. Like I don't know. I think it's just they're just weird. Maybe it's my fault for not trying to give it a chance first before I pass criticism. But I don't know. I'll probably watch somebody play it, and if I'll probably give it a shot. But I'm not gonna buy it to try it. No, I'm not doing that. This one, however, I'm absolutely also looking forward to play. Are you?
I'm non-committal at the moment.
What do you mean?
I I don't know if I'm going to. I don't know if I'm going to buy this game. I don't know yet. If there's other stuff that comes out around that time, then I'll buy that instead.
let me guess. You think that this is the same thing over and over again? Is that why?
No, no, no. It's just like I'm not spending full price on Mario games anymore.
Okay. I actually like that. I actually like that. But you think Mario games are not worth full price anymore?
Compared to the other games that I might be buying, no.
Why?
I just don't see it as that. I don't see it as that anymore. Like I remember, I think we had an argument about this when it comes to Metroid. Um, I don't mind them making Metroid. I like that they made a new Metroid game, even though I don't really care about it. Oh wait, that looks sus right there.
Wait. Let me want what looks suspect.
Go back. Listen, I'm not gonna say what it looked like, but
No, no, just let me know, and I want to pause it.
right here. I am not
No,
gonna say what that looks like, but yeah,
no. You can say what it looks like. What's the problem?
I know I'm good.
Okay, give like a small description.
I really don't want to.
What,
I'm
what,
sure.
what does it look like? What are you trying to say it look like? I have no idea what you're talking about. I thought he was trying to critique the graphics or the
No,
frame
no,
rate or something.
no. The graphics are fine. I'm just saying this image itself is sus.
No, it's not.
It's a bit sus.
Nah, I don't think so. All right, so
Okay, continue.
um, let me see. I don't. I mean, I don't see it, but okay.
Shout out to
Um, okay, what's your issue with these 2D platforming games? Even though you were giving games like Guacamelee such high praise, well, what's going on with you with these 2D platforming
you.
games?
Know how much I paid for Guacamole?
I have no idea.
$20.
Didn't you also buy Cuphead, which is also 2D?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
it's all and that game was also $20. I'm
So,
so
go
you're sensing a trend here, right?
so to a degree,
No, don't. I you understand or you don't understand.
I understand it to a degree, to a degree, to a degree.
But anyway, let me spell it out for you. I'm not spending $60 on this.
You like Hoovy. Just because a game is 2D doesn't necessarily mean it's not worth full price. Doesn't
I
mean it's not
personally, I
worth.
don't feel like it's worth the full price.
You only saying that because it's 2D, not because of the gameplay. You only saying the only because it's a 2D platformer. That's it.
Okay.
That's not. I don't necessarily see why. Like, I mean, dude,
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. If this was a random game by a random studio, would you pay $60 for this?
if this was a random game,
Mm-hmm. Indie game. Indie game. It could be anything. Let's say the next version of Guacamole.
well,
You
I don't care for guacamole, so I wouldn't pay full price for it.
All right, but if it was a game that you did care about, you would pay $60 for this.
I'll pay $60 for Cuphead.
I wouldn't, and I like Cuphead,
Yeah,
and
I
I
would I
wouldn't.
would I would definitely pay 60. I think if they charge $60 for Cuphead, I think it's worth it.
For you, it is not for me.
No,
Not for me.
you only saying that because it's a 2D platform, not because of the game. Only because it's 2D. That's why.
Yeah,
For
I
some
yeah.
reason, you believe that because it's 2D, oh, you should get a discount for the sake of being 2D.
No, no,
That's
it's
it.
not, I don't look at it as a discount. I look at it as someone who is charging $60 or $70 for a game because of the IP. Like I said, if this was not Mario, this is not costing $60. It's not.
Yeah, if it's Sonic, it'll be $60.
Of course it would because the brand recognition.
Okay, there you go. So Sonic also, people will also pay, and I would pay full price for a 2D. Sonic game.
But I would
We pay full price for 2D Metroid game.
okay, and I wouldn't because there are games that come out who that look similar or better that cost less than this. No, yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I would like to try it out, but I'm not trying it out for $60 or $70. I don't know how much it costs, but I'm not spending that money on. I'm not spending that money on. And you okay? So you tell me you would spend $70 so that you can use this power up, become an elephant.
No, first
That's
off,
worth the $70, the $60.
okay. First off, you can't just say, oh, is it worth $70 or $60 just because of one power up? Is more. There's more to it than than just the power up. As far as the elephant goes, I think it's kind of lame that they choose an elephant. I think it's stupid. It seems like they want to just constantly have all these weird power ups where you turn into a different animal. Fine, it is what it is. I don't. I'm pretty sure I don't have to use it if I don't want to. But if it's there, I mean, it's fine. It is what it is. It
I'm
is
not
what
saying
it
I'm not
is.
saying the game looks bad. I'm just saying that it's not worth. It's not worth $60. It's not worth full price. To me, it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah. It's not worth full price, despite the fact that Sonic and Metro is the exact same way.
Yeah, and I feel the same way about those games also.
Hmm.
And if you ask me, oh, Frontiers is $70, I can understand it because it's a 3D game. Even though it don't look that great, it's still a 3D game.
Okay.
The 2D Sonic games, there's no even with the improved graphics, there's no way it should be $70. It's not.
Okay. Well, this is like okay. So far, there's been one, two, three games right now that I am super excited for, and I will definitely be getting these games. And Sonic, once again, because I'm a huge Sonic fan, and because I'm a Sonic fan, of course I'm going to get this game. Day one is going to be, and they finally they're going to show. Yes, they finally brought the co-op back, which is what I've been waiting for a very long time. And they're going back to the original route, a 2D platforming Sonic game, which I think he can you could have one of the best experience in a 2D in the 2D platform as far as Sonic is concerned. But the fact that now you are able to utilize other characters in the
Well,
game,
I will
I
say
think
this.
is special. Go ahead.
I will say this. If the stages are more dynamic, it can work when it comes to using the other characters, right? Because obviously you saw Tails, he's using his tail to fly. Knuckles, he's climbing on stuff, and you have Sonic with the super speed. If the levels are multi-dimensional to where you can take different paths and do some exploring and stuff like that without getting punished with time or whatever, then it makes the game more intriguing, at least to me. It makes the game more appealing.
Yeah. No, I agree because if you're going to be able to, if all these characters are going to have special abilities and you could utilize those different special abilities and go to different areas and explore, the game more, then
Mhm.
yes, absolutely. I think that's a plus because that's honestly right there, perfect example.
Yeah.
I am certain. Let me see if I can go back to it. I am certain that if you're Sonic, you won't be able to get to this platform. I'm gonna say that with confidence. I don't think Sonic unless there's like those well actually I don't think there will be those things either where we could bounce off of and jump to a higher a much higher platform.
Mhm.
I don't necessarily think you could do that with Sonic. So for the simple fact that we are witnessing this right here, I'm pretty sure that what you're saying is holds true. I think the dynamic is going to be there, different explorations, different areas. I think that's going to be great, depending on which character that you choose. And and look, when you do that, you get to go to different areas, which makes the experience different.
Mhm.
So that's what I like. That's and look once again they're finally bringing co-op back, and now you get to do 4 players. And people could say, oh well, they're copying off of Mario. Like look, so what? They're competing with Mario. They've always been rivals. and I'm really glad that they're taking this route. I'm definitely looking forward, to this game. And once again, it's going to be a day one buy for me. Anything you want to say before we move on?
No, no. Like I said, I was impressed with the way the game looked during the summer game fest. I'm not gonna buy it, but
Of course
you don't
not.
they don't look bad. They don't look bad.
Okay. This one here, I forgot what this is. Do you remember what this is?
No.
Okay. Um, I
I mean,
cannot.
are you interested in the game?
I don't think I am.
All right, then let's move on.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, I just wanted to. If maybe somebody in the chat might be interested, but okay, we can move on. Um, let's see. Persona. Are you interested?
No,
Aren't you? Aren't you? I thought you liked Persona games.
no, I don't.
I mean, at least the fighting games.
I played one fighting game.
And you didn't? Did you like it?
Yeah,
Okay, so you like Persona to some degree, at least the fighting portion. But don't act like is you acting like as if you don't care about the franchise
the
whatsoever.
main franchise is the RPG, which I don't play.
Oh, that's fine, but they have a fighting. They also have a fighting game franchise for it now.
Okay.
So yeah. Now, as far as this goes, it's another RPG. I wish they had taken it more of a more serious tone, because you know what this remind me of.
I mean,
This
the the main life Persona games are that.
this remind me of Street Fighter. Crap. You know what I'm talking about? Street Fighter. Oh man, the puzzle fighter. Yeah,
Hmm.
it kind of remind me of that. I was I kind of was hoping maybe they would take a much more serious tone, like a Final Fantasy, for example, maybe like a Zelda, for example. But it's not. Is this a day one buy for me? No, only because the simple fact that I really never gave Persona a try. When the price goes down, I'll probably get it, but who knows? Maybe my brother might get the game. But yeah, the game looks like the game looks fine. Nothing to be all crazy about, but the game looks fine. Steps into Saturday morning. Treks first person. Okay, I don't know what this is. Do you know what this is?
No,
Want to watch?
I mean, if I'm not, I mean, it's up to you, Steve.
Okay, fine. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. What's this? Uh, is this an RPG? Isn't it? Oh, an action RPG. Okay, but it's first person. No, not interested. Okay, next. Okay, no, this one I'm not interested in. This I'm not interested in making ice cream. Not interested. Detective Pikachu. I I I never played the first one. Do I want to give it? Do I want to give this a try? I don't know yet. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna watch, some walkthroughs on the first one to see if I will start getting, um, to see if it just engages me, to invest in a game like this. So we'll see. Batman. Um,
Here's the Arkham collection.
the I'm trying to remember if I bought the collection before.
Mhm.
I can't remember. I don't know if I should buy it again. Um,
Personally, I would because I never played any of the Batman games, the Arkham Batman games.
I could have sworn that you played one of them.
No, I never got a chance to play it. So, I do like obviously Batman's my favorite hero, but I have to at least try the game out before I can fully judge it. You know what I mean? Because
What? The game is good. The game has all of them has been great.
yeah, I know, but it just to me, I there's something about the combat that I'm not a fan of. But I have to play it first. I have to play it.
What did you hear about the combat that you didn't like? If you could describe it.
It's weird. I don't know. It's just the way that it's done doesn't look fun to me.
Hmm.
And I've watched tons of gameplay of the game of these games.
Okay.
So like I don't know. Like, I feel like I should. I feel like I should at least give it a try.
So um is this a buy for you?
It depends on how much it costs.
And how much should it cost?
No. Like I said, if they want to charge 64, I'm fine with it. If they want to charge full price, that's fine.
Okay.
But I don't know if I would. I don't know if I'm going to buy a game that I'm not sure about for 70.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you are getting three games, three games, in one. Like I don't know if they're adding anything into them. I don't recall them saying that they're going to be adding new stuff or new stages or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm on the fence on this. Like I don't know if I should. Like I'm a huge the reason why I'm on the fence, and this is not like a complete dismissal, is obviously I am biased. I'm a huge Batman fan. I always been a huge Batman fan, and just for that reason, I probably might get this, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. The games has been great. It would be nice to revisit all three games. So we'll see. We'll see. But this was fun. It was
Yeah,
fun.
I'm on the fence about it also.
Okay. Player cards right. No, not interested. The floor is yours. Just Dance. I know you don't care about Just Dance. I
Oh,
don't care about.
I love Just Dance.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
No, you don't. Yeah, you could try to fool me before, but you definitely not fool me with that. Definitely not fooling me with that. I think this is another RPG. I think. Let me make sure. Um, yeah, yeah.
Action RPG.
What's up?
Action RPG.
Yeah, action RPG. Um, when I saw this, I remember paying attention, but then I kind of like lost track as I was watching, so I can't fully remember exactly what you're supposed to do in the game. Um, I'm on the fence on this too. It does look good. I do like the art style and everything, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay. Obviously, with this, I have something to say about this collection.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely have something to say about this collection. So,
The renowned series of
um,
stealth action games is infiltrated.
okay, you pretty much have. Let me see. Let me make sure I get this right. How many games are you getting on here? Okay, so you're getting the Master Collection, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, and Metal Gear Solid. I think that's what you be getting. Hold on, I think you'd be getting more. Let me see.
Click on the picture.
Come on. $60. Let's see here. Okay, so you'll be getting Metal Gear Solid, Sons of Liberty, Snake Eater. You'll be getting bonus content. Can you see if you could? Okay, yeah. So you'll be getting the original Metal Gear game, Snake's Revenge, um, Metal Gear digital graphic novel, which is also cool. And I don't know if you remember, but I think just a few weeks ago, I had mentioned how it was very very tough to get the graphic novels of Metal Gear
Oh.
to know the ins and outs because they had comic book Metal Gear before. For some reason they stopped, and but they were just extremely hard to find. So the fact that they are reintroducing this into the game, th- and if you remember when I was giving somewhat of a criticism with the Street Fighter collection that I bought, I had said that they should have brought in a few comic books into that collection. That's a true collection in my opinion. I appreciate that they are doing this with this collection. That they're giving you graphic novels, you get to read the ins and outs of the whole entire story, get to know the backstory of it. I think that's fantastic that they did that. and obviously you have Metal Gear 2 and Metal Gear. Oh, I think the other one was a Japanese version. I guess. Yeah, I guess it's a Japanese version. Now, great collection. Here's the only issue that I have, and I've been having, and I've been I really thought about this. The only issue I have with this collection of what Konami is doing is that people that we've had Metal Gear Solid collections before. We've had collections before. And what people have been complaining about is why we don't have Snake Eater in these collections. I have always defended Konami because I have always said, and I think you said this also, that maybe Nintendo, just doesn't want to do that. I don't know how the whole licensing thing had worked or how the deal had worked. I don't know what the deal is. I should probably have done some research on that. The thing is, though, this is for the Switch. And since it's for the Switch, why is it that you don't have Twin Snakes on here? It was available on the GameCube. It's the only remake for Metal Gear that we had in a very long time. And all of a sudden people were complaining about it, that it was never available on anywhere else. But here that it's going to be for the Switch, which is obviously a Nintendo product. Why isn't Twin Snakes in this collection? You would think that they would have had, some type of common sense and say, hey, bring Twin Snakes over here because it was available in our console. Wouldn't it make sense to you to bring Twin Snakes, which is the remake of the original Metal Gear game, over to the Nintendo Switch as well?
Are you asking me a question?
Yeah.
I mean, you already have Metal Gear Solid 1. Yeah, one. What like I what's the difference between that and Twin Snakes? Realistically.
Really? It's a remake. It's a remake.
Okay. You have
It's
the
a
original
remake.
and you get the remake.
So if we had what you said, here was he trying to say? Based on that logic, I should be satisfied if Capcom had given me a Resident Evil collection. I should be happy with the original Resident Evil games that was for the PS1 and not be satisfied that I will not be getting the remake of Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, and a remake of Resident Evil 3. I should be happy with the originals. That's what you're saying.
I mean, it's up to you whether
It's
you
the same thing.
right?
It's the exact same thing.
All right.
Why should I be happy with a collection where you're giving me outdated graphics, outdated gameplay, where you have a remake where everything is far and drastically improved from the original, but I don't get to have that one. I get to have the original one. Like you honestly think that I would be happy with a Resident Evil collection where I don't have the remakes where everything has been updated? Come on, Hoovy. Like, even though you don't care about these franchises, you should at least understand that point.
I don't care enough to understand.
With all that being said, let's move on then.
Here's the thing though. If that's the case, then shouldn't the game be more expensive? If you're on the Switch and you get Twin Snakes, right? Shouldn't that make the game more expensive on the Switch?
Because of the remake?
Uh-huh.
Well, wait a minute. You do realize that the remake is only as powerful as Snake Eater and Sons of Liberty.
Oh, that's true. Like, should you charge extra?
No, just keep it at $60.
Why not? It's another game that they have to update.
No, they don't. What do you mean update?
They're gonna have to do something. They can't just port the game from the GameCube and put it on the system. They have to make some updates to it, I'm assuming.
I mean, I don't know how that works, but I personally believe if you are going all that what you just said is irrelevant, because why? This is a collection. If you are going to say this is a master, it doesn't even say collection. It says master collection. If this is going to be a master collection, I expect to have everything.
Yeah, well, they don't have the They don't have the PSP games.
Oh, they know that's right. They don't.
And then they have a collection where they had everything.
Yeah, that I have that one.
All right, then why you buying this?
I have that one.
Then why you buying this?
It's a, it's Metal Gear, dude. Like it's
All right,
Metal Gear.
you already
Plus,
have.
but not only is it no you no the last collection that I have,
Mhm.
Twin Snakes is not on that one either.
Okay, but it has more. It has more games than this one does.
Yeah, but they don't have the graphic novels,
All right,
and I've been searching for graphic novels forever,
all
and
right.
I can't find them anywhere. So you should understand where the frustration lies of how come you're gonna call this a master collection, but yet you can't even provide me a updated of a Metal Gear Solid game. You just give me the original one, which is outdated. But anyway, look, I'm pretty sure you agree with me. You just don't want to. But
No, okay.
let's move on.
I don't care, man.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's see. Um, let's see here. So Metal Gear, went to Metal Gear, and wait, hold on. Where is it? Okay, Metal Gear. Vampires on another coffin. Do you care?
No,
Okay. Headbangers. Do you care?
no.
Wave of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Do you care about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
I mean it's DLC, so we don't really have to go too much into it.
Okay. We have two. Wait, what does this say? Star what?
Star Ocean.
Star Ocean. Oh, I remember. Okay. Um, real quick, another RPG. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's yeah. Okay, cool. Wario. Let's see what's in. Let's see what's this.
WarioWare game.
Are you interested?
No.
Oh man. Alrighty. Okay, so that's pretty much all the games that we went through. And these games, I am right now interested in getting one. Yeah, I'm on the fence. Well, okay, two, three, four. Um, was this one five? I've, five, six, seven, eight, maybe nine. So out of all the games that they had showcased, there's probably about 8 or 9 games that I'm going to buy. 4 or 5 of them are going to be day one buys. Overall, although I still was hoping and expected more. I was hoping that they were going to talk about whether if it was F-Zero. I was hoping that they were going to bring maybe a new Donkey Kong game. I was hoping for Geist, the Ready M game, which that's never going to happen. It's clearly that's never going to happen. But although I didn't get the games that I truly wanted, as far as the games that they have in their franchise, overall, I think that this showcase was decent. I think it was decent. I kind of was hoping for more, but it was decent. I'm happy with the games that they provided, and I think it was a decent showcase. All right, your thoughts?
Um, I mean, look, these are Nintendo games. A good percentage of them I don't really care about, but
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, I don't think it's a bad show. I mean, I didn't see the show, so I can't speak on. I really can't speak on it, but if you like it, I like it.
Wait, that is so not true. Like, don't give me that crap. I like it. Then that means you like it. You didn't. How come you didn't watch the show?
I forgot I was on, and I rarely watch Nintendo Directs because they're too at least the way they do them before is not fun to watch. So yeah,
They're not fun to watch.
yeah.
They're not fun to watch. Oh, okay. I think that proves my point even more. But all right. So overall,
Wait. What do you mean by that?
because I you know how I've been talking about E3, and all of a sudden this was just not fun. It was just not fun to watch for you for some reason.
No, and
It just wasn't fun to watch.
they've had E3 that weren't fun to watch neither.
Okay, all right, fine. Fine. But overall, I was happy with the showcase. I think it was pretty decent, and I'm definitely looking forward, to these games. Is there at least one game that you're going to buy?
No, no.
I thought you were thinking about getting the Mario game if it was cheap.
Yeah, if it was cheap, but I know Nintendo. It's not. I know it's not.
Yeah, I do. Okay, if it's $60, buy it.
I'm not. No, who told you I would buy it for 60?
No, I'm telling you, if it's $60, buy it.
No, I'm not buying. I'm not buying. I'm not spending $60 on a 2D Mario game.
I could understand if it was 70, but if it's 60, you
If
could
it's
buy that game.
70 or 60, I'm not buying it.
All right, you can move on to your topic then.
So let me read some comments. All right. Let's see where we at. All right. So I think he was talking about the Mario game. The game reminds me of Mario Superstar Saga a bit. The gameplay. I think he's referring to Mario RPG. Um, Ruben said that he emulated it. Oh, I actually rented Mario RPG.
Oh, you did,
Mm-hmm.
and you felt that was a big mistake.
Yeah, I returned it the next day.
Ah! Okay.
And Mario Superstar Saga was an RPG game, so okay. All right, and he said that he also continued that it came out in 2003. The recent one was Mario and Luigi Bowser Inside Story, which came out in 2009. Oh, okay. I do remember that game. I think that was an RPG also. You
Was
can
that
yeah, go
was
ahead.
that was that the one for the DS? Was that a handheld title?
I think it
Persuasion Agent.
was. Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
But you can correct me. You can correct me. Um, you know, Ruben said that he loves Pikmin.
And Ruben, since you say that you love Pikmin, and I'm not saying that you're just talking, nonsense. You need to give me some reasons why. I want to know, for somebody who actually had experience with the game, why do you love Pikmin? And I'm definitely looking forward. And don't say you don't give me answers like Hoovy 186 here. Oh, I just like it because I like it. Give me good reasons why you like the game so much. I need some reasons,
You
please.
probably like the gameplay.
That's too broad. I want details.
Um,
You can laugh, but I want details.
Ruben says Steve, it's obvious where he's going and what it looks like, referring to the Mario thing that I was talking about. Yeah, but
Steve, it's obvious where he's going and what it looks like. Look, just because it's 2D, that shouldn't diminish the price tag.
you're not talking about the price tag. You're talking about the price tag here. Yeah, not worth the price, not worth 70. If you want 50, cool. If you want 60, okay. 70, we're good. I wouldn't even go past 60. 50 is a stretch. But if it's compelling enough, I'll spend 50. But anything beyond that is not.
Oh, you skip Kidvid's and I want to respond to what Kidvid has said earlier. He said girls will love how that looks. Now I don't know if you're talking about Mario, if you're talking about Sonic or whatever. But what I have always appreciated about what Nintendo do with their games,
Oh, he's
especially
not talking about that, bro.
what he's talking about.
About the thing I was referring to. The Mario thing, it looks like a penis. Fuck, man.
Oh. Wait. Well, why? That thing does not look like. You guys have it in a crazy, unusual imagination. That thing does not look like a penis whatsoever. It looked like a guy who is inside a freaking tree trunk. That does not look like a penis at all. This is not Disney here. We're not talking about Disney. This is Nintendo, and they know better. That it does not look like a penis. You're wrong, Hoovy 86, and you're wrong, Kidvid. Next.
The only person who didn't see it was you. So yeah. So Kid continues. It doesn't take much resource to make a 2D platform game. Yeah, I agree with that. I'd never heard of Hoovy playing RPG.
No,
I don't.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Robbie said he prefers action RPGs. Not really. Not really. Like
You said you said you liked it Zelda, and you said you would play Brave Prince and Musashi. Both are action RPG games, Hoovy.
yeah, but it's not like they're not. But they're not my favorite genre to play. So, I mean, I prefer them over regular RPGs,
Exactly.
but RPGs in general are games that I don't really play all that much.
You don't have the patience. That's
That's
why
true.
you don't
That's
have the
true.
patience. You have the patience to watch boring sports. You just don't have the patience to play them. But that's fine. Let's move on.
I don't know how that I don't know how any of that relates to anything.
It does. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, I have
you have
no idea what you're talking about.
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking
you have the patience to watch boring stuff, boring sports like baseball, but for some reason, playing RPGs, you don't have the patience for that. That's fine.
I don't find baseball boring.
All right, let's go.
I don't find baseball boring. You do. Just like you don't find RPGs boring, you don't. That's how you don't find RPGs boring, but I do.
All right.
Anyways, Kojima has the same face expressions in almost every picture. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, actually, that dude don't smile.
Yeah.
Who's to say they won't be a remake? Always always complaining.
It's not it's a fact. Just because I'm making a fact doesn't mean that I'm just complaining just to complain, like Hoovy always says. And what I'm saying is absolutely true. See, the thing is, you see, here's the thing. What I know about Riddler. Let me tell you what the thing about Riddler. Everybody, and I'm glad that Riddler's here because it's time for him to be called out for this, right? Riddler is the type of individual that likes to accept what any company gives him, and he likes to bow down. He likes to tolerate, and he will be pretty much satisfied with whatever. And for some odd reason, he likes to defend these companies with their bad practices. He do, whether it's online, whether if it's a certain gameplay, microtransactions. He defends. He defends it all of it. And whenever I have a problem with what the gaming industry does, this guy will always find some reason to defend these companies for some reason. And for me, I think my complaint, or I should say the fact that I'm bringing up, is legitimate. Why are you giving me an outdated version when there's an updated version for that particular game? I think that is a fair criticism. I think that is a fair, honest question to be asked. There's two games. One is outdated, one is updated. Why don't I have the option to pick the updated one? I think that's a fair question. It's an honestly fair question. And if you think that's me just to complain, well then Now I don't like to accept everything that the company gives me. You do, but I don't. All right, we move on.
All right. Ruben answers when it comes to Pikmin. Pikmin drove me in with the story, its creative gameplay, and resource management and scavenging aspects. He also said that you're so seriously lost as we called it sus. Two, two legs sticking out of a tall shaft. And he said that Brave Fence and Musashi is a classic.
Yeah, and what the heck was that?
That's my background.
Oh, Brave Prince and Musashi was such an amazing game. I really want Square Enix to make a new one. I don't know what's taking them. I love that game. Definitely would appreciate they made a remake of that, but who knows?
All right. Okay. Let's go on to the next topic at hand. Let me do the screen share. I'll do that. That's fine. No. Do that. Okay. So let me set the scene for you guys here. So Microsoft was in court with the FTC and they were presiding over a judge. Now, mind you, this judge, what's this person's name? Let me go up. Jacqueline Scott Corley. Right now, here's the thing. There's rumors out there that this judge's son works for Microsoft. She has a son that probably works at Microsoft. Now, if this is true, because like I said, I haven't seen any definitive proof that it's true or not. That's a huge conflict of interest.
Mm-hmm.
Even if she votes against this deal, that's a massive conflict of interest. I'm just putting this out there. I don't think this thing covers it. But I'm just putting it out there because I heard about it. I heard about it today. So let me see.
I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, yeah. I just found out about it today. All right. So let me read this thing. All right. The fate of Microsoft bid to buy Activision, one of the first and oldest third-party publishers in the console game video gaming, now rests in the hands of a single person. The companies in the Federal Trade Commission spent a week in federal court over the latter's request that a judge put a stop to the deal. Testimony and closing arguments are now done. Since Thursday, longtime fans of both Xbox and PlayStation have gotten glimpses of the fast-paced, hardball business world of platform holders and major publishers in video gaming. What happens now could not only be an historic moment in video gaming, it could shape how millions play them for years to come. Here's what you really need to know about the past week that matters, what matters are headed, and whether the mega deal will go through. All right, so this is what happens next in the Microsoft Activision FTC case. The judge in the FTC case against Microsoft over its $68.7 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard is expected to rule before July 18th. So that's July 18th. That's like 2 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm.
Whether to block the deal, that's the closing date for the proposed buyout of publisher of Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, and Overwatch. The FTC already filed a lawsuit in December to block the deal. This hearing regards the government request for a restraining order stopping all merger activity and preventing it from closing. Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley granted that temporarily on June 13. Her next choice is whether to make that permanent. The restraining order would stop the deal until the FTC's overall lawsuit against Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal is resolved. All right, so what happens if the judge rules for Microsoft and Xbox? The acquisition would go forward, and the deal would become a lot harder for the FTC to unwind. The FTC would have to consider whether it would be worth the effort, as a ruling denying its motion would be seen as a vote of no confidence in its antitrust case. That case was brought under the FTC's own administrative law apprentice, an in-house course basically. So neither Corley nor the judicial district would be involved. Bigger picture, two other major regulation bodies, the United Kingdom and European Union, have already passed judgment on the Microsoft Activision deal. The UK's Competition and Markets Authority moved to block it in April. The European Union approved it in May. Though these three all act independently, two bodies agreeing might convince the third one to change his mind. Microsoft could also relocate the offices that is in Activision has in the UK if Corley lets the deal go forward. Okay, what happens if the judge rules for the FTC? Then the deal is not closed, and it seemed likely that Microsoft would abandon it altogether, paying Activision a termination fee, which is like $3 billion. In addition to that penalty, Microsoft attorney Ralph Wilkinson told the New York Times that a suit before the FTC in-house court would be a 3-year administrative nightmare that would tank the deal altogether, regardless of his ruling.
Well, I don't understand. They would have to pay a $3 billion fee.
Yeah, fine. Yeah,
Who would have to pay that fine?
Microsoft.
Why? I didn't understand why they had to pay that for.
That I don't know. I don't know much about that.
All right.
But if Microsoft wins, what games will be exclusive? With Xbox Chief Financial Officer Tim Stewart on the stand Thursday, the FTC revealed a November 2021 email between him and Xbox Studio head Matt Booty, in which the overall head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, decried that all ZeniMax games henceforth would be PC and Xbox exclusive. All right, so let me see. All right. Oh yeah. Also, let me add something to that. Right now, it was Phil Spencer has said on multiple occasions that he's against exclusives. That he's against it.
Yes.
And the boss at the Xbox boss, Santia Nadella, he's also said it. He actually blamed Sony for the fact that that exclusives exist in the console space, which shows you how little he knows about console gaming in the first place. But moving on. All games going forward.
Well, I think, like, again, I think you and I had already addressed this even before.
Mm-hmm.
That when it comes to exclusives, they have done many deals before to where they had exclusives or time exclusives, whether if it was on their Xbox One or especially on their Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
They have done that. And the fact that we're going back to 360 is proof.
You go all the way back to the old Xbox.
Yeah. So they have plenty of exclusives on the original Xbox. I remember one of the most anticipated game was Splinter Cell, and that was exclusive on the Xbox too.
No, it was on PlayStation.
Wasn't it exclusive on the Xbox first?
No. It played best on Xbox though.
Oh, okay, yeah. The graphics was better and everything. Okay, I can't remember what games that they had. That was
they did have a Splinter Cell game that was exclusive. What was it? Conviction.
Oh yeah, that one. It was that one. Yeah, I brought it over to your house. Yes. Yeah. So over the years, you cannot sit here and tell me now you blaming Sony for all this. They're having exclusives, yada yada. When you guys have done it since the very first console that you guys had. Like going back then. So why is it that you're going to be blaming Sony now when you have been doing it since day one?
And notice they don't blame Nintendo, which had tons of third-party exclusives.
Exactly, 100%. And to me, all what Phil Spencer and Xbox in general, all they want to do is not compete against Sony and Nintendo anymore. That's what they want. They no longer want to compete. And I honestly believe by taking that route, they could constantly give us incomplete games or control all of their games and not have us, giving us options, blah, 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 blah. They just don't want to compete anymore, with the gaming industry, with Sony and Nintendo as a whole. They just don't want to compete anymore.
So here's the thing: they had some emails that were unveiled where they confirmed that their main goal, at least Matt Booty did, that his goal was to spend Sony out of business.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I got into it with a lot of Xbox dudes over the weekend because here's what, and I'm gonna make a video about this also.
Okay.
They feel that when you buy third party exclusives, that okay, let me backtrack. Now they're saying, because Microsoft's main thing is that the reason why they had to buy, they said that the reason why they bought Bethesda was because Sony was trying to make um Starfield exclusive to their platform,
Okay.
which I don't buy that for a second. Because if that's the case, if you guys were willing to buy Bethesda over one thing that Sony tried to do, how come you didn't buy Square Enix? They just made Final Fantasy exclusive, 16 exclusive to PlayStation. And
Yep.
all these games that Sony has third party deals for, you could have bought you could have bought them, but you didn't.
Correct. I agree.
You know what I mean? I just don't buy it. To me, here's the thing. They like, and I'm kind of going forward on this, but they want to increase the value of Game Pass. That's why they want to buy Activision. That's why they bought Bethesda. That's why they want to buy Activision. They're saying that, oh, it's because of Sony, the way they do business when it comes to third party deals. They're saying that's the reason why they're buying all these companies, which is a lie. Which is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. I do not believe that company. Look. Microsoft has money, right? And they're saying, like, they could have bought third party deals, and in fact, they have done third party deals. In fact, there's a game coming out on PlayStation in a couple weeks called Scorn, which came
Mm-hmm.
out first on the Xbox. So what? So pretty much what Microsoft have been trying to do in court is they're trying to make Sony out to be the bad guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what they're doing, and obviously the fanboys are gonna fall for a hook, line, and sinker. And again, this whole thing about oh, Sony was the one that killed Sega, that lie has been rearing its ugly head also. Now, here like I don't want to go too deep into it. Now, did Sony help the demise of Sega? I would say no. All Sony did was take over Sega's spot as kind of like the more mature console as opposed to Nintendo. But at the end of the day, Sony can't do nothing without the mistakes that Sega made. No one told Sega to make the Sega CD and the Sega 32X. No one told them to release the Sega Saturn without a release date, a proper release date. No one told them to have all these inner conflicts with Sega of America and Sega of Japan. No one told them to do any of that. Sony had nothing to do with that. All they did was use the market to their advantage, which is what you should do. Any good company would do it.
Yeah.
So to blame Sony for all the mistakes that Sega has made is foolish and it's dumb, and they're only saying it because at the end of the day they want to position Sony as the ultimate bad guy, so that they can justify Microsoft buying all these studios, right? And to me, I don't see how you can be okay with Sony buying third party exclusives. You could be upset about that, and then turn around and be okay with another company buying whole publishers. It makes no sense to me, because Phil Spencer said, "Oh, I don't want to take away games from the communities, from existing communities." Well, you're doing that. You've already done it.
Right.
You've already done it, because here's the thing: Bethesda has a huge fan base on PlayStation. It does. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, they have a huge fan base on PlayStation, and these emails show me and shows a whole bunch of people that you have no interest in taking bringing these games to PlayStation. And truth be told, you don't have to, because those are
Yeah,
your games. Those are your games. You have the right to do what you want with your games, but you can't sit there and tell me that, oh, I don't want to take away community. I don't want to take games away from these communities when you've kind of already done it already. You've done it. You've done it already. So yeah.
yeah. And you've done it already, and all people just have to do is just look at the constant hypocrisy that you're constantly displaying every time when you run your mouth saying that, oh, Sony is anti-consumer, or they just want, exclusive this, exclusive that, when, like you just said, you just constantly buying, publishers, where you could easily manipulate that and just say, well, all of these games are just going to be exclusives on my console. They could do that anytime that they want. Whether if it's Call of Duty or the Crash games and all the other games that they have in the arsenal could all be exclusives, but yet you complaining about Sony exclusives. Like, get the hell out of here with that garbage, man. Like seriously, get out. You know what I'm saying? You are right now purposely trying to buy all these studios, all these publishers, so you could have the advantage, win the console war, and so you can have full control over Game Pass.
And, here, and,
That's
here, and,
it.
here, and here's the thing: like, there's a lot of people who are suggesting, and I know you've said this before, and I've heard other people say it too, that the main goal of Microsoft is not only to get Sony out to kill console gaming, right? And the way that you kill console gaming is by trying to kill the your main competitor, which is Sony.
Yeah.
Now let me explain. Let me explain why. Now, if you kill Sony, that means that you don't really have a company that will release the type of game that Microsoft has. That they obviously Nintendo has their own niche, right?
Yes.
They have their own niche. So what they're saying, what Microsoft wanted to do is kill off their console business, but also kill off Sony's console business in order to now have um to have the main focus be the cloud, which they're the leaders in. When it comes to cloud gaming, they're the leaders in.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll have Game Pass as kind of like you know a true Netflix of gaming type thing.
Yes.
So now you don't have Sony to worry about. Now you have pretty much all these companies under your power. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, and it'll and like I said, they will have full control of all of these games, and they could manipulate it as any way they see fit, whatever goes in, whatever goes out, giving us incomplete games, because after all, hey, they're free. All you have to do is just have Game Pass. I'm telling you right now, if what they want, and I'm pretty sure what they want to happen with Sony is the same thing what happened with the Sega Dreamcast. They want the PlayStation brand to completely die, the same way how Sega and the Sega Dreamcast had died. That's what they want. That's what they want. And when you're trying to freaking buy them out, or spend money so that so you can no longer compete with them, you know, you obviously anti competition. And without competition, we get bad games. We've seen that over the years, with our sports games. We've seen that over the years with with a lot of franchises, that had died and whatnot, and we don't see them coming back anymore. We've seen that many times over the years. And Microsoft will no longer have anything to worry about once they are able to figure out that, oh, we don't have to compete with Sony anymore. Nintendo is doing their own thing. So we have full control essentially over the entire gaming industry. And I do not want that. But you can move on.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you there. Now, when you mentioned this, you mentioned Sega and the Dreamcast and everything like that, right? Now, part of the reason why EA didn't put their games on the side on Sega after a while, to me, is because of competition. Because they didn't, because their game. Look, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. Their games, their sports game, at least when it comes to football, was ahead of Madden by at least 2 years.
Oh, their sports games was phenomenal.
Yeah, and their basketball games were ahead of theirs by a couple years also.
Hmm.
So but the problem is when you don't have EA games on the platform, it makes it less appealing.
Okay.
So when you look at what Microsoft is trying to do, let's say they do buy Activision, and let's say they buy, and again they're going to buy more studios. They absolutely were planning on buying more studios. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention
Hmm.
there was I don't know if it's documents leaked that they were trying to buy Sega.
No way.
Yeah, they're looking into buying Sega and I think Square Enix and other companies like that.
You see
Now,
them?
I think every company does a little bit something like that where they have studios that they plan on buying, but like they were planning on buying Sega,
Jeez.
and the thing is, when you have a company who's willing to buy the competition, who's willing to buy, it could create competition, but it could also stifle competition if your competitors cannot match what you're doing in the space. Because the reason why, because the thing is that when it comes to Xbox fanboys, right, they just think that third part, what Microsoft and Sony are doing are the same, or that they're comparable. Now, to me, Microsoft can easily compete with Sony when it comes to buying third party exclusives. They absolutely can. They have the money.
Absolutely.
They could play. They could play in this market. They've done it before. However, if Microsoft's going to continue to buy publishers, Sony cannot compete with that. And everyone knows that. That the email that Matt Booty sent pretty much confirmed it.
Hmm.
What they tried to do when it comes to outspending the competition. If you're just going to buy Call of Duty, and let's say they buy EA, they buy Madden, we've already seen it. When you take away something that has value, it will ultimately kill your competition.
Yes.
That's what EA did with EA and the NFL. That's what they did to the NFL 2K5. That's what they did with 2K. They killed that game because they had the balls to sell their game at $20 because they felt that their product was vastly superior to what the Madden game was going to come out. That they put it at $20 so that people can try it out and play the game.
Hmm.
And EA was pissed off about it. That's why they had to lower their game to 30. And the NFL was pissed off about it. That's why they offered EA the exclusive rights to make the game, to make the NFL game.
Yeah. So yeah.
And that killed 2K because they can't make a football game with just fake players and fake teams. Like people are not going to go for that.
Absolutely not. Even and I remember somebody had mentioned, even if the gameplay, was far superior, is far superior, than Madden, and
Which it is.
yeah, far superior, than Madden. People are not going to go for it, even if the game is good. And unfortunately, this where it comes to, when it comes to how when I would try to tell you that yes, gameplay is important, but you see how, the characters, or yeah, I shouldn't say characters, but the players is
The
is
IP
really,
matters. The
yeah,
IP.
yeah, having the players there is really is also a huge reason why people bought the game in the first place. It's not just the gameplay. I guess anybody could just make a football game, but no one's going to buy it if they don't have, the players that are there.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So,
The
and
IP the IP has value.
absolutely.
It has value, and no matter how good your game is, if you don't, it's the same thing that Konami dealt with when it comes to their soccer game. EA, like, and again, both games are FIFA's not good, but both games for a while were very good games. Both games were very good games, and both games had their level of exclusives on there. But EA
Mm-hmm.
has so much money that they can just offer more exclusive content for their players.
Yeah.
And Konami can, but Konami was able to survive and all the other stuff. So yeah, I mean, pretty much that's where we're at right now. Like I said, I'll make a video on it, kind of going deeper into it. But I mean, that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
and, and again, we already got sample sizes of what happens when you don't have competition anymore. Like the football games that you talked about, because dude, when I had the option to play games like NFL Game Day, or if I had the option to play, an NFL Fever, it was just it was like a gold mine to me. And you saw that they really had to compete against one another because they want their football games to be the far superior game.
mhm.
And what have people have been doing over the last decade? They just complain and complain and complain about NFL Madden. For years, for decades, they've been complaining about Madden,
And
for the
you know
Madden
what's funny?
franchise.
When I was watching a video about Sony's NBA games on the PlayStation 3, right? Those
Mm-hmm.
games were not very good. They were panned and they didn't sell, and that's why they stopped making them. However, there are things that they did in that game that you now see in 2K. Like when it comes to
2K?
presentation, yeah, the
Okay.
2K game that we have now, right? When it comes to presentation and the story mode, they had a story mode in that game
Mm-hmm.
way before 2K had a story mode in their game, which they introduced a couple years ago. So even when it comes to the lower tier, sports game, there was still innovation there.
Yeah.
There was still innovation. There were still things that were done where companies are just now doing it.
That's a
And
shame.
yeah, and honestly, it like the way that these leagues have treated these sports games has hurt. It absolutely has hurt. And like the Xbox dude can say what they want, but if Microsoft continues to do all this, it's gonna hurt the industry. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna hurt the industry. And now you guys can cheer and be happy that Sony gets killed or whatever. But I'm telling you, man, a gaming world without studios and them innovating and competing is not a good thing.
Nope.
Not a good thing.
Was there other stuff that you was trying to read?
Um, no, I skimmed through it. It's not
Because I
it's not that important. But go ahead.
you sure that because the article was interesting. Like you sure there was nothing else?
No, nothing that I haven't. Nothing that I haven't. Nothing that we haven't talked about before.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So like, yeah, man. Like to me, I just find it. Like I said before, if Microsoft's gonna do what they're gonna do, then it's fine. Like I don't have no issue with what they're doing. My problem is that one, the way they label themselves, I think is garbage. They're not the underdog under any circumstances. They're not the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be the underdog and spend and have the most money. You can't have you can't have the most money and be an underdog. It's an oxymoron. Makes no sense to me. This idea that they're just trying to everything, we all know why they're doing it. We know why they're doing it to elevate the value of Game Pass. But now they're blaming Sony for this and that and all. To me, it's off-putting for me. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So let me read these comments from Critical Drop. Microsoft deal to buy Activision Blizzard has been approved by another global regulatory body, the South African Competition Commission, announced on April 17. Microsoft has unconditional approval to close the deal through its subdivision called Anchorage. Okay. Yeah, I think I read something about that. And
As
no
of
one's
today, the recommendation to approve the deal was now been fully complete. So the deal and in South Africa, so all that over there has been approved.
yeah.
Hmm,
No
that's
one
not good.
said Microsoft isn't stopping. There are a less evil EA. I guess so. Yeah. Yeah.
You would I would say they're worse. I would say they're worse.
Uh,
And yeah,
look,
I would say that.
personally, I think Activision is worse than both of them.
You think Activision is worse than both of them?
Mm-hmm.
Why is Activision worse?
Well, first off, Bobby Kotick, huge douchebag. They've had tons of like sexual assault scandals going on over there.
Oh
Sexual,
yeah. We talked about that. Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. All right. All right. Next topic: free agency. I don't have an article. I don't have an article. Do
Oh,
you?
I thought you said you had a. You said you had an article for that one.
No, I did. No, I did. No, I don't.
Well, okay. Well, let me see if I can find one.
Yeah. At
Um.
least one that has all the moves that's happened so far. Let me get something to drink. I'll be right back.
All right. So while he's gone, yeah. So he's gone. He's gonna get some water to quench his thirst. And look. Overall, I really don't want this deal to go down. I really don't want the deal to go down. And even if they've been approved, elsewhere, um, I just hope that even the Xbox fanboys will look. If you're going to be a fan of Xbox, I see it, but try to look at the bigger picture and understand, the gaming industry as a whole. Like, again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but we already seen when you no longer have to compete, you could easily see how it just gets worse for the consumer, which is us. We've seen it, with the football games. We've already seen it. And when you have a company that doesn't have to compete anymore, the games are just going to be bad because there is no incentive to show new creativity or to innovate. There's no incentive anymore because there's no need for you to get better because the opposing opponent or company had did something that was better than yours, an added feature or whatnot, and you don't have to combat that anymore. So what would be the incentive to to make better games and whatnot if you don't have to compete anymore? You could just get lazy. Um, but as far as free agency, we're trying to move on to free agency. There's been a lot of moves that's been going on, and the one that I'm actually focusing on the most is what's going to happen with Damian Lillard. We'll talk about everybody else, but I think the situation with Damian Lillard is I think he finally sees the light, and I think he finally realizes that it's great that you want to stay loyal to an organization. It shows that you have a good character, you have dignity, and all the other good stuff. Awesome. But if the organization does not have the same goal as you, which means that bringing in great veterans there, try to win now. If that's not what they're trying to do, you have to move on. You have to because what would be the purpose for you to stay if the incentive is trying to get younger, or let's say if you're just wanting to tank, what be the incentive for you to stay because you're already older. Damian Leonard, he's not going to be in his prime years forever. He needs to move on. So I actually appreciate that he finally came to his senses and that he's asking for a trade.
Oh, so you agree with Dame?
Yes, you don't.
No, as long as he goes to the Heat, I'm good with whatever he does.
Dude, you know that Heat team is going to be dismantled if he goes there.
Yeah, Yeah, as long as they keep Jimmy and Bam. Yeah,
You'd be okay of them letting go Tyler Hero.
yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you this right because the reason why, and I'm a big fan of Tyler Hero, but Dame Lillard is when it comes to the best version of that guys who can get you a bucket. I mean, I'm gonna pick Tyler Hero over Damian Lillard? Like seriously?
No,
No,
but
I gotta
go
pick
ahead.
Dame. I gotta pick Dame. Period.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. So you think that he should move on now?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. I have this article. I
yeah.
guess
Like,
I'll
as long
share
as he
this.
goes to Miami, he should move on.
Oh, okay. I guess you have
Yeah,
you
let
have
me pop it up for you.
okay.
Yeah, I have. I have this right here.
Yeah, we can show both of them. Yeah, we can show both.
Mhm.
Yeah, we
All
could
right.
go like back and forth.
Okay. All right. So let's look at some key names so far.
Hmm.
Um. All right. So Fred Van Vliet, he went to Houston. Uh, 3-year deal. I think worth 128 million. So he's making 42 million a year.
Yes.
Kyrie re-signed with Dallas for what 3 years, 126 million. So he's making
I
about
I
42.
I honestly think the reason why he decided to stay, I have a feeling
Mhm.
that not that many teams was interested in Kyrie.
I feel the same way. I thought the Lakers were gonna re-sign him. I legit thought the Lakers were gonna sign him,
Me too.
but he went back
I thought that
but he went back to
yeah. I'm very, very surprised that he didn't try to go, to LA. But I do believe with all the drama that's been following this dude and how drastically worse Dallas I'm surprised that Dallas still wanted to sign him after they got a huge sample size that your team got worse when he arrived. I don't think keeping him, was a smart idea, but at the end of the day though, um who else are you going to get? Like you don't get Kyrie, your team gets even far worse. So I guess I understand why they felt like they had no choice but to sign him.
hmm I guess Kyle Kuzma, he resigned 25 a year.
Uh,
Chris Middleton,
that
he
team's not going
resigned.
anywhere.
Yeah, that team. I was hoping that he would come to Miami.
Kuzma?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. I think he will play very well next to Bam. But Middleton, he resigned
That makes a
for
lot of sense. Yeah.
mhm, 34 a year. Draymond resigned for 25 a year. Um, yeah, okay.
He
Who
pretty
else?
much is similar to almost the same amount that he has always has made. He usually would make around 20 or 20 something a year. I honestly believe that he's not worth that much anymore because he's just going to get older. He doesn't average 15 points per game. I don't necessarily, and his defense is going to get worse as he ages. I don't necessarily think 25 a year was a good move for Golden State, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but I guess he means more. He means more than Jordan Poole. So yeah, you guys.
You
So
mean you mean
Dylan.
don't you mean the empty pool?
I guess. Where I forgot where they trade him again.
Isn't he with the isn't he with the crap? I'm trying to remember. Oh man, no, now I can't remember. I have to look it up. I can't remember now.
Because the thing is that we didn't really talk about this, but Chris Paul got traded to the Warriors.
Is that you or that
Yeah,
me?
that was me.
Oh,
Chris
okay.
Paul was traded to the Warriors,
Yeah.
and I'm confused by that. I'm very confused by that move. Is he going to be a starter? He's going to come off the. I personally, I think I would. I think if I'm Chris Paul, I would consider coming off the bench.
Is that you or is that me?
The right spot at the
What?
right moment, and
Oh, I
Shamanich
think
with a
that's me.
nice
Hang
That's
on.
finish.
you.
Look at him
That's
thread
you.
that needle.
You can hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, that was me. My bad, everybody.
That was you. But yeah,
Um,
we didn't really mention it. Chris Paul is now with the Warriors.
yeah, Jordan Poole's with the Wizards.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So they traded. If I'm not mistaken, they traded Jordan Poole to the Wizards for Chris Paul,
Yes.
and yeah, if you're Chris Paul, it's an interesting move for the Warriors because if I'm Chris Paul, I would come off the bench if I'm him.
The the reason why I'm worried of sending him to the bench is that I do think that him okay, if they are able to get a big man, like a legitimate like big man, I think he should start. I think he should start. Now if they don't get a big man, then I mean I don't necessarily see the reason why he should I don't necessarily because I think with a big man he'll be able to make plays because Steph Curry could still dominate without having the ball in his hands. He proved that. Same thing with Klay Thompson. I don't necessarily think it would be a bad idea if Chris Paul also start along with Steph Curry. But you seem like you think it is.
Yeah, I personally, I don't think I would do it. I would preserve his health because we know that the health has been an issue the last career, his pretty much entire career. And to me, like you if you have both of them on there, you have 2 point guards on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I'd rather have Curry with the ball than Paul with the ball.
Yeah, but Chris Paul is a much better facilitator than Curry is.
Yeah, but I mean, is Steph Curry a bad facilitator? I don't think so.
No, but
He may not be Chris Paul.
well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but
All
that's
right,
what I
yeah, he
mean.
may not be.
I think the
No,
fact
no, no,
that
no.
Chris Paul could still shoot the ball. He still has the mid range. Steph Curry has the mid range. I think this would definitely make the team more interesting. That Steph Curry will be doing a lot more cutting, going to the baseline and whatnot, while while Chris Paul has the ball, designing plays for everybody. Like I think because Steph Curry could do so many different things offensively, that's more of the advantage for the whole entire team if Chris Paul starts along with Steph Curry. Cause
Yeah, but I
let's be
wouldn't.
real. Let's be real. Everybody want to give Draymond Green all this credit. He's not a facilitator, and neither is Klay Thompson. But you have two guys like Chris Paul and Steph Curry who can handle the ball, who both have great ball handling skills. I think having both of them would definitely be a threat offensively. I do think that way.
No, I see what you're saying. To me, I just think that at this stage of his career, I would, I would put him on the bench just to save his minutes and save his body.
Do you think he would want to be at the bench?
I mean, if you want to win a championship, yeah, accept it. If you want to
I
win a
mean,
championship, accept it.
I honestly think that what they really need, they just need to get a big man. That's what they need. They need a big man, and they've been completely exposed with LA. Steph Curry is not going to be able to beat LA or the Denver Nuggets for that matter because they're way bigger than them too. They need size. That's what they need. If they could get some size, um, then what anything goes. I think that team will be good regardless if Chris Paul goes to the bench or if he starts. That team is good, regardless because all those guys could score. Um, I honestly think that you just need to get some size and then they should be fine. They're just too small.
Okay. Uh, you want to read the article, or you want me to continue?
Yeah, yeah, you continue. I think there was two more that I wanted to talk about.
Okay. All right.
Let me
So
see.
Dylan Brooks, he's going to Houston for 80 million, 20 million a year.
I'm
So
actually
they're gonna have
surprised.
him and you're gonna have him and Fred VanVleet in the backcourt. That's small backcourt, very small
Yeah,
backcourt.
I'm actually surprised he got that much.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Max is gone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, going to Cleveland for 15 million a year.
He got a nice
Props.
payday.
Yeah, props to him.
Definitely got a nice
Austin
payday.
Reeves and Rui Hachimura, they're re-signing with the Lakers.
Hmm.
Pretty much. Reeves is gonna make 14. Hachimura making 17. Let me see. Brooke Lopez is staying with
I
the
knew it. I knew
yeah.
it.
He's staying with the Bucks for 24 a year. Bruce Brown from Denver. He went. This is funny because on the parade, Mike Malone, he was saying that Bruce Brown ain't going nowhere, and then a couple days later he goes to the Pacers for 22 million a year.
Clearly he was but him winning a championship. Now that he won a championship, he all he just wanted was the money, regardless of what team it was. That dude
Yeah,
didn't care whatsoever.
yeah, that's funny. So the Lakers are keeping D'Angelo Russell for 18 million a year.
Uh oh.
Gabe Vincent, yeah, Gabe Vincent. He
Yeah. It kind of hurts that both of those guys actually had to one it decided to leave, but I think even you have said it also. Most people pretty much anticipated this because they played so great in the playoffs, and we knew that Miami wouldn't be able to afford everybody. Like
yeah,
we already seen that was going to happen. So this is not a surprise at all.
yeah. So yeah, he's going to the Lakers for 11 million a year. So deserved. He deserved.
Yeah, congratulations to him. Absolutely.
Let me see. Is there anyone else worth talking about here?
Seth Curry, he's going to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the one that I wanted to talk about.
Well, which one?
Russell Westbrook.
Oh yeah. He's staying with the Clippers.
But look how much money he's getting.
3 million.
Do
Is
you
that
feel
right?
like
For 2 years.
do you feel like that's an insult?
I mean, 3 million. Is that the veteran minimum?
Yeah, that's why actually do you think that's an insult?
Ah, man. I feel like his name has. Where would he gotten more money? Yeah, where would he gotten more money though? That's the thing.
How is it that how is it that he, dude, would you say that he had a better season than Kyrie?
No,
You think Kyrie had a better season?
I mean Kyrie's a better player.
I'm talking about dude who had a better season,
I would probably say Kyrie.
even though he didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
I mean
I
Kyrie.
think
Look, Kyrie's a better player, man.
I think what what Westbrook got was absolutely a huge slap in the face. A huge slap in the face. I understand all the stuff that he went through when he was in LA, but seriously though, 3 million a year, that's it? There's absolutely no way anybody could sit here and tell me that freaking Seth Curry is better, that Brooks is better. There's no way. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that. But it is what it is, and if he's happy, where he is, maybe he's doing it because he wanted to stay in LA, and maybe that was LA was only able to afford him, with that much. And if that's the case, then I'm cool with that. But but other than that, I think it's a huge slap in the face. But I guess we're done. Let me go read the article real quick.
Mm-hmm. Let me go back here.
So the NBA free agency negotiation period officially kicked off at 6 p.m. on Friday ahead of the league's annual moratorium period, which began Saturday at midnight. Deals can be agreed to during this period, but can't be officially signed until Tuesday. Let's get to the meat and potatoes on this stuff. So yeah, we talked about Fred Van Vliet, Kyrie Irving. A player is an unrestricted free agent UFA when he is not under contract and is free to sign with any NBA team without any obligation to his former team. A restricted free agent is under control by his current team, but he is not on the roster and is free to seek offers from other teams. However, before the RFA can accept an offer from another team, his current team must have the opportunity to at least match that offer to retain him. All right, let's get to the most important stuff here. Okay, so on July 3rd, the Lakers, Beasley agreed to a 1 year, 2.7 million minimum contract. The Milwaukee Bucks sources told ESPN Adrian Wojnarowski. Um, yeah, we pretty much went through all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Minnesota guard Anthony Edwards has agreed to a 5 year rookie maximum deal that could be worth as much as 260 million with agents. Bill Duffy, Joe Branch told ESPN. Um, Brian Winsworth report the Hoop Collective podcast that the deal for Philadelphia guard Tyree Maxey will not happen despite the fact that the franchise won't extend Maxey's contract. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I'm surprised that they're not trying to extend his contract because Maxey he's a decent player, and to me we're all and to me what all the stuff that's been happening with James Harden, like, dude, you're gonna have to you need to make sure that you keep Joel and be happy. You must make sure that you have talent around this guy. Because there's been rumors about James Harden that he's not gonna stay with that team for long. There's constantly rumors of him. Did you hear that he wanted to go back to Houston?
Yeah, that rumor's been going on for a long time.
Yeah, and I'm saying to myself, if you know that, dude, you better try to keep all the talented players that you have right now. You got to try to keep everybody if you want to compete for championships. Like, you already are aware that freaking at least last year Miami was better than you. They made it farther than you. Milwaukee is still better than you. People are going to pick Boston over you guys. Like, come on, like, just freaking extend Maxey's contract and get the thing over with. But whatever. This one right here, we will see Damian Lillard in Miami. That's the question. Brian Winsworth gave an update to ESPN First Take. The issue is Tyler Hero. You and I talked about this just now. That's the centerpiece of the trade. It's clear that Blazers aren't interested in Tyler. Maybe not so much the player, but the 4 year, $120 million deal. He is starting right now. You have Pat Riley, Andy Ellsberg, and Miami trying to figure out how can we turn what we have, included Tyler Hero, into some sort of 3 or 4 team trade that can satisfy Portland. So look, Hoovie, I get that you like Damian Lillard, and I really understand your point that he's better and that you would probably trade him, in a heartbeat. But I feel like Tyler Hero has, but maybe you don't think he has done enough, but I think that dude really has been improving over the years. I think averaging 20, 22 points a game, I think that's good. I do think that's good. And remember, he isn't he younger than Damian Lillard?
A lot younger.
Yeah, okay. Damian Lillard, he pretty much has reached his peak. He's not going to stay there very long. He's not. Tyler Hero still has the opportunity to continue to get better and reach that peak. He can.
Okay.
I honestly think that if Tyler Hero continues to go in an upward scale, you guys should keep him.
Uh, Look, if you're gonna get a potential all NBA player like Damian Lillard, you get him. It's that simple. And the guy who's the biggest trade asset is Tyler Hero.
Would you get rid of Jimmy Butler for Damian Lillard?
No, no,
Hmm.
no. Because to me, Tyler and Dame, I'm not gonna say their games are similar, but to me, he's a guy who can be someone who will help Jimmy and will help them. And Tyler, he could probably do that too, but not as good as Lillard, not as good as Dame.
Okay.
Like to me, I just think that if you have an opportunity to get an All NBA player like Dame, you go get him. It's that simple.
Okay. Um. So Eric Gordon has agreed to a 2-year, $6 million deal with the Phoenix Suns. Sources told ESPN. This one is no big deal, but Patty Mills are acquiring. I mean, Patty Mills is going to Oklahoma City. He was coming from the Brooklyn Nets. Miles Bridges is preparing to sign his 1-year, 7.9 million qualifying to offer with the Charlotte Hornets, which would make Bridges an unrestricted free agent next season. Yeah, I mean, so like we pretty much went through the most important people.
Mhm.
We had our talks about it. So yeah, the only thing that really surprises me was Russell Westbrook and Dylan Brooks. That one surprised me after all the um crazy theatrics that he had did last this past season postseason, and the team didn't win, and you get an $80 million deal like that. That's to me is amazing. So I guess it paid off. It definitely paid off. Getting $80 million. Good job. Good job. So that's
Yeah.
all for this topic. I'm done.
Yeah. Right. I mean, we might as well go to the last topic. Which is pretty much the ESPN layoffs.
Okay. Do you want me to bring the article, or are you gonna get it?
No, it's you.
Oh, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, man. Do I have so much to say about this? And I'm pretty sure the rest of you already know and aware and is completely aware of what's going on with all of these layoffs that's been happening. And now, before I read the article, there's two things that I wanted to say before I read, this article. And what I want to say is ESPN and you, who've been 186. I
Mm-hmm.
have been saying over the years, and I know you're probably gonna say, oh well, it's all about Stephen A. It's all about first take, whatever, whatever, whatever. But I remember I have said, and over the years, if you constantly want to talk about woke stuff, you are going to turn away your fan base. And I
Oh,
and I believe, and I honestly believe, since day one when I told you that less and less and less and less people are going to watch ESPN. Not and you know what, and I'll even say this. Not because of the stupid woke and race stuff that ESPN always want to talk about. Not because of just all the political stuff that they want to talk about. But I also believe another reason why I think as far as the ratings and people are no longer tuning in on ESPN anymore is I do believe that what Draymond Green had said was 100% accurate.
what
I
do you say?
when he said that the new media was going to take over.
Mm-hmm. That's the main reason why. That's the main reason why this is happening. By the way.
Okay. So I do believe now again, when you and I started this podcast, we had started this podcast, what 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think when you and I had started the podcast 2 or 2.5 years ago, I think we had just caught the wave of of pretty much having the podcast to where we did it right before obviously the new media had started. Because remember,
That's not true.
when you don't think so?
No,
You think the new media has started prior to that?
way before that.
The new media,
Way before that.
because I don't recall a lot of these sport athletes having podcasts before we did. I think a lot of them they had just started, no?
No,
Like for example, like with Shaquille O'Neal's podcast, with Jim Green's podcast,
no,
JJ Reddick, like those podcasts are relatively new. Like they're like brand new podcasts. You don't think so?
bro. This stuff is new media has been a thing for a while now.
Okay, okay. I mean I would have to go back and see the time span of when they actually started. But when I saw Shaq having his, and now Skip Bayless has his own podcast, like all these are brand new podcasts, from what I
Understood,
imagine.
understood. But the idea of new media technically has been going on for a long time, and ESPN has been slow to capture it. Now you want to keep talking about the woke bullshit because it's not worth it because it's not true.
I think it
This is what happened when you listen to people like Clay Travis. This is what happened when you listen to
is.
people like Clay
I don't know why you hate Clay Travis so
No,
much,
because he's a fucking liar and he's a fraud, and people who know him say that.
okay.
So
Wait. Who people who know him say that?
yeah, there is a no. It's a well. He's from around here. He's from Florida.
Okay.
He was a lawyer.
Yeah. He's a lawyer. Yeah.
There's someone who knows that field. They know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I don't understand from
Yeah.
people like you sit there and you say, "Oh, I don't want politics in my sports," but yet you run off and listen to this fucking guy talk. There's a reason why you're a fan of Jason Whitlock. There's a reason why you're a fan of Clay Travis.
Well, I'm
And
not.
because-
I'm not. I'm not. I'm
and
not a
it's
huge fan
not-
of Clay Travis. Well, Whitlock, yes, but not.
but
Not.
it's not because of their sports opinions.
Yeah. It's because of that.
No, it's not.
Yeah, trust me, it is.
It
Yeah.
absolutely is not.
Well, Jason Whitlock, he does bring a lot of his he does bring a lot of Christianity into it. I'm going to be biased when it comes to that. So yeah.
Okay, don't give me this. So you can't sit there and tell me, "Oh, I don't want all this woke bullshit on my sports cap." But yet you listen to guys like him who brings his own religion to his opinions. How
Yeah,
the hell
but
does that make any sense?
religion is not woke. They're not the same thing.
I don't give a fuck what it is. Keep that shit. Keep that shit. If you're going to be consistent, be consistent.
That's that woke and religion is not the same thing.
Okay, it's fine.
No, look, if you think it's the same thing, that's fine. But I don't think it's the same thing.
They are the same thing. They absolutely are the same thing. But let me tell you why this is happening. Okay?
I was going to read the article, but
No, read the article. Read the article.
Are you gonna forget?
No, I'll be fine.
Oh, okay. All right. As long as you're not gonna forget. All right. I do. Hold on. Let me share this first.
All right. While you share, let me read this real quick from Nolan.
Mm-hmm.
Riley in the front office can pull off the trade, but Hero isn't growing as fast as the team is. He's not winning chips in the immediate future. That is partially true, but the problem that we have with Hero is that the last 2 years in the playoffs he's been hurt. That's been the problem. And if he was there, maybe we could have beaten Denver last year if he was there. Maybe not. But the thing is that right now you have a prime opportunity to get a legit top 75 player in the league who is still amazing at playing the game in Damian Lillard. And you're not going to get him for free. So if you're going to sacrifice somebody, you have to sacrifice someone who is the easiest to replace. In my opinion, the easiest guy to replace out of the three between him, Jimmy, and Bam is Tyler. He's the easiest to replace.
Yeah, but he may be he might. Well, I don't know about the easiest, but I think Portland would much rather have Jimmy than Tyler.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's part. I think that's part of the reason why the trade hasn't happened yet. Because I think they want more out of their return, and I understand that. But it's up to Riley.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, continue.
All right. Yeah. And remember, don't forget what your
Yeah,
train of thought.
scroll up real quick. Oh, New York Post. Okay, go
You
ahead.
you you, you thought I was okay, Daniel.
Yeah,
Daniel.
but
You
you're
thought
not.
you
You're not.
thought.
But not. It's not that far off though. It's not that far off though.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So ESPN is laying off some of the biggest stars, including Jeff Van Gundy, Max Kellerman, Keyshawn Johnson, Susie Colbert, and Jalen Rose, in a purge that was expected to result in around 20 on-air personalities being let go Friday, as the network hopes to save tens of millions of dollars. The Post has learned. ESPN informed all of its employees Friday morning of the forthcoming cuts on the internal website, according to a memo obtained by the Post. The five-paragraph note did not go into many specifics. At the beginning of Disney's three rounds of layoffs, sources told the Post there would be no scared cows at ESPN when letting go of personnel. This became apparent on Friday. Let's go up a little bit more. Here we go. Van Gundy, Kellerman, Johnson, Kerbler, and Rose were also joined by NFL Countdown analysts Matt Hasselbeck and Steve Young, who also think that they're really good. Um, NFL draft expect Todd McShay, he's also good. College basketball analyst
LaFonso Ellis.
LaFonso Ellis, right?
Hmm.
Sports Center anchor Ashley Brewer, college game day analyst David Pollock, radio host Jason Fitz, and Jordan Cornell, baseball writer John Lee, and NBA reporter Nick Riddell. Man, that's a lot of people. Van Gundy is considered one of the best TV game analysts ever, while Johnson signed a big contract just a year ago. And the reason why, I don't know if you like Jeff Van Gundy, but the reason why I like Jeff Van Gundy is because he's the only one, in my opinion, that could get very controversial in his commentating when he's obviously when he's critiquing the game and whatnot. He is very confrontational sometimes. He would argue and he kind of remind me of a Charles Barkley to a degree. He will say a lot of things. He'll just speak his mind, and that's why I love him. As a commentator, he's not one of the best. I'm not saying he's like one of the best, but I do enjoy listening to him. Everything you need to know about ESPN layoffs. Let me see. Okay, so last week, the Post reported a network was scrapping its morning radio show that featured Kellerman, Johnson, and Jay Williams. Kellerman makes in the neighborhood of 5 million a year, while Johnson is in the second year of a 5 million year deal for around 18 million. Williams has a contract that is up and at the end of the summer. It is possible Williams could emerge as a replacement for Ellis. You know what? Before I continue on, here's the one thing that irritated me, about this article. So they said that they wanted to cut costs, cut costs, but just a few weeks ago, didn't they sign on Pat McFay, whatever the guy's name
McAfee.
is, McAfee?
Hmm.
Okay, they signed him to like what? I forgot what was it. I remember it was a huge number.
Lots and lots of money.
So you wanted to cut costs, but yet you decided to pay him.
You know why?
Go ahead.
He's part of that new media. He's part of that new media, and they're what they're trying to do is that they're trying to capture an audience who is cutting the cord on cable, but it's consuming their sports in different ways. You don't have to go to ESPN to get your ESPN hot take anymore. You can go on YouTube. Obviously, you still have Fox still doing their thing. You have tons of new avenues to gain your sports takes. And McAfee was one of those guys after he left ESPN. Remember, he was there before.
Yeah, I remember.
He
Yeah.
left ESPN, do his own show, and his show blew up. Dan Lebertard was at ESPN for a long time. He left, and his show is doing very well. Like now, you don't need ESPN to be in the sports game. You don't need ESPN. Athletes, they don't need ESPN. They don't need journalists to tell their story. You got Kevin Garnett, his podcast. I think he's the one that I think that's the one that he shared with Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
Gilbert Arenas has his own podcast. I think Marcellus Wiley has his own podcast.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, guys, they don't need ESPN or anyone or any other journalist to tell their story. They can just do it right then and there. And if they can captivate an audience, and ESPN notices, they'll go after them. And look, all ESPN cares about is the audience. That's all they care about. All they care about is the audience. And a lot of the guys who they cut, and guys and girls who they cut, don't on their own don't captivate an audience. They really don't.
You don't.
I guess,
You. Go ahead.
like the closest guy would probably be Max, but even with Max, before he left the first time, like they gave him his own show, didn't work. He tried to do his own thing outside, but it didn't work. Now I think now if he does his own thing now, I think it could work. Especially if he does anything regarding boxing or anything like that, I think it can work. Absolutely think it can work. But nowadays, when it comes to you just don't need ESPN to get your sports fix anymore.
What about Jalen Rose?
I mean, same with if Jalen Rose has his own podcast or does something and it does super well, he can monetize that into a bigger deal if ESPN come calling for him.
But you don't think people tune in to listen to Jalen Rose?
No, what was he doing? What was he doing? After the whole Jacoby and Rose and Jacoby show went off the air, what was he doing? He was doing countdown. And look, no one gives a shit about their NBA countdown show. No one does.
No,
Let's be
because
real.
people like the TNT stuff.
Yeah, the TNT show is a lot better.
Way better.
It is what it is.
It's far better.
Yeah. And to me, this is this is just a cost cutting move that they're doing because this is something that Disney is going to be doing across the board.
But I thought that the Jalen Rose Jacoby show was fantastic show.
I liked it too. But when Jacoby left, there was really nothing. What was Jalen Rose going to do? All he had was the countdown show, really. And that show sucks.
Yeah, even with Stephen A. And as sometimes you'll see Mike Wilbon there. It's just not like I think the thing.
It just sucks.
I mean, I don't want to say it's garbage. I don't want to say it's garbage. At least because look, you would still say that Stephen A. Smith is still the biggest draw over everybody else.
Yeah, that's why he's safe. And even then, he has his own podcast.
But here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have a guy like Jalen Rose. You had a guy like Max Kellerman, right? Jeff Van Gundy. You mean to tell me that Stephen A. Smith, fine, but you mean to tell me that Kendrick Perkins is better than those guys? That Kendrick Perkins, Ramika Andrews, Molly have more value than those guys? Not even close.
So here's the thing: when it comes to Kendrick Perkins, he's definitely not better than those guys. But he's cheap. He's probably cheaper. You know what I mean? You have You mentioned Molly. Molly's on the top show on the network. She's on the top show on the network, so she ain't going nowhere.
What about wait. So because she's on, so what you're saying is because if you're on first take, you're automatically safe. That's what you're saying. It doesn't matter the
I
value.
mean,
It doesn't matter if you're good or bad. It's just because you were on that show why you're safe.
I would say that's pretty safe. I would say that's pretty safe because I mean, if you look at all the people who are associated with that show, based on to my knowledge, you have Stephen A. who's still there. You have Molly who's still there. I think JJ Redick who's there during basketball season. He didn't get fired. And who else be there? Like Swagoo, he's still there.
Is what's that white dude's name? The older guy.
I mean, Mad Dog. I think he's part time, so they're not paying too. I don't think they're paying much for him there, but he's still there. You know what I'm saying? Like, like at the end of the day, what this is nothing more than just a cost cutting move, money move to save money, and pretty much it's just them admitting that basically, like, yeah, we're gonna have to try to find a different way to gain an audience, pretty much. And signing guys like Pat McAfee is the step to do that.
Do you watch him?
No, no, but I'm familiar with his show. I don't watch his show, but I'm familiar with him. I don't have no issues with him. I just don't know where to get it, and I don't. I have enough. I have enough thing to listen to. I'm good.
Okay, the people who you listen to,
Hmm.
are any of them involved with ESPN? Like, do you listen to Stephen A? Do you listen like who do you listen to that's on a sports network? I'm not talking about the independent guys. Who do you listen to that's in the sports network?
The only show, like, and I don't watch the show every day. Like, I'll watch the Stephen A. thing if he has any something interesting to talk about. I'll watch his.
Okay, you watch Stephen A. Who else?
Yeah, and that's it.
Who else? Stephen A. is the only one you watch.
Hmm.
Are you are you just saying that?
No, I'm trying to think. No, no. Like, I'm familiar with Marcellus Wiley's show, but I don't watch his show. And he's independent.
You don't watch PTI?
No.
Oh, but you say you watch First Take.
Oh yeah, once in a while I watch what.
Okay, you watch First Take. I knew there was more. What else do you listen to?
That's it.
Okay, now, so that's what me three shows probably
Hmm.
3 shows. How many independent shows do you watch? I'm talking about, like, guys like us.
I'll probably say about 6 or 7. I dedicate to.
And you consistently watch them.
Yeah. If they have something interesting, yeah. If you As long as you have something interesting to talk about, then I'll listen to you.
Okay. Now here's the thing. You said you listen to at least 6, or whatever. It doesn't matter what the amount is. The most important thing is you have more. It's more than ESPN had, because you said you watch about 3, which is not consistent. But yeah, in the independent portion of it, new media, whatever you want to call it, you have at least 6 or more.
Hmm.
Are you watching them because of their personalities, like their knowledge of the game? Like, why are you watching those guys?
It depends. Like the Levitar show, for example, is a show I've been listening to since it was local down here.
Hmm.
Since it was only on radio on 790. So I have a familiarity with that show. When it comes to there's a YouTube channel that I watch, and it's mainly because of his personality and, like, what he's talking about.
Who's that?
Damn, what's the show called? What's the channel called? I think he called That's Good Sports.
Okay.
Right, so I watched that. Urinating Tree, same thing. As long as it has good top, as long as it has good as long as the personality obviously makes a difference, but also they have to know what the hell they're talking about.
Right.
To me, that's the most important thing. But personality is second.
Okay, so okay, so I don't know if you know where I'm coming from here.
Mhm.
These people that you are constantly watching, um, over ESPN or over Fox, or even let's say you watch them over the NFL Network, which has nothing to do with ESPN or whatnot. At the end of the day, what I think you care about, and what a lot of people care about now, is the personality. More, I think you care about the personality, or whether the person is funny or whatnot, more more so than even if they have even knowledge of the sport. Want to know why? How I know that? Because you still even listen to Charles Barkley, and even you have said Charles Barkley most of the time doesn't know what he's talking about, or
Mhm.
Shaq doesn't know what he's talking about, but they entertain you. Who we
Yeah.
win 86. That's the thing. It's the entertainment, not the knowledge of the sport. Not
No,
really, if it's
wait, wait, wait,
if it's a huge debate
wait, wait,
show.
wait,
Because,
wait, wait,
no, no,
wait.
no, no. The reason why I said that is this is why before I made that statement, I mentioned Charles Barkley first.
No, wait, wait, wait. There's a big difference between not because my thing with Barkley is that he doesn't watch the games. He obviously knows what he's talking about when it comes to actual like basketball, obviously.
Oh, okay. Because before you said he didn't know what he's talking about most
No,
of the time.
because
But okay,
but the reason why I say that because I know he doesn't watch the games,
okay, okay.
and neither does Shaq. Like I'm just being real. Neither does Shaq. But I will say that I think Shaq does a better job of analyzing the game than Charles does. I think the problem is when it comes to Shaq, he looks at everything through the lenses of when he played the game as a center, and the game has evolved from there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, yeah. But you can
So
continue.
okay. So I'm wrong. It has nothing to do with the entertainment value.
No,
It had
entertainment is obviously important.
okay. So let me say this:
Hmm.
the entertainment has excelled to a much higher position, to where even if the person doesn't know what he's talking about,
No,
you will still
no,
watch.
no, no. If you're an idiot, I'm not going to listen to you.
Yeah, I'm not saying idiot. I'm not.
No,
I'm not.
no, you have to be an idiot for you have to be an idiot for me not to listen to you.
Okay. Well, okay, fine. Scratch everything what I said regarding the comparing the entertainment into the knowledge of the sport. I believe that you just have to be highly entertaining to watch. And if you do know somewhat about sports, I think you could get away with it. I think now it's more about the entertainment, because otherwise, how is it that everybody is now watching what's his name, Steven Jackson, and what's his dude's name,
No, Matt Barnes.
yeah, Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes, like their style, or Kevin Garnett, their style of how they do their show, you will never see that on ESPN
No,
or
you can't.
Fox or whatever.
No, you can't.
Exactly.
Even and even with Pat McAfee, I'm like I said, I know they curse on the air, but like
Cursing is another thing.
yeah,
You wouldn't.
but
Go ahead. Go ahead.
with McAfee show they curse. I think they do curse all the time in that show. So I don't know how that's gonna go when it comes to ESPN or whatever. But like they curse on that show.
Yeah. I think I think overall, when it comes to ESPN, or even Fox for that matter, I prefer watching Fox over ESPN as far as their debate shows goes. But to me, I think what the new media brings in now is more of a refreshment. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have their regular clothes on, like you're saying. They use profanity, like they really talk about whatever it is that they want, instead of being told what you should talk about on ESPN. If you know what I'm saying?
It's more authentic.
Correct, correct. And so the thing is, for me, me and you are somewhat in the same plane, but
Mhm.
I think ESPN could still survive if they adapt to what the new media has now bringing in and how they are constantly taking over.
I think
That's what
that's
ESPN
part of
because
what they're doing. That's part
well
of what they're doing.
no because even when you watch let's say NBA Countdown, it's like I'm in a freaking business meeting when I watch that show.
Well, here's the thing. Like that show's gonna change, so we'll see where it goes from there. Um, yeah, we just have to wait and see. We just have to
Yeah,
wait and see because their broadcast is gonna be different without Van Gundy there. It's gonna be different,
absolutely.
you know.
And
So
and the thing that I'm worried about is if you're going to remove all these talented guys, um, I don't necessarily see how this is going to entice me to continue to watch your stuff if I don't care about the people who you're keeping. I don't care about Kendrick. I don't care about Kendrick Perkins. I don't care about these new guys that you want to sign up. If they're not good, then what will be the incentive to continue to watch your show if everybody else who I care about is gone? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, I don't know how this is going to work. From what I also heard was that ESPN, I don't know how true this rumor is, but I heard that ESPN probably will have a tough time to renew the contract as with the NBA. I don't know if you heard that.
mm, I think this deal. I think what they did today it actually makes it more likely that they'll reach a deal with the NBA.
Oh,
Remember,
okay, you think so?
yeah, you have to remember, like part of the saving the money thing is trying to renew their sports right deals, and they have so many. But I think it helps them because if you're laying off salary for a whole bunch of people, you're planning on buying some major stuff. And look, as long as sports as long as sports is something where the only thing that that you have to like watch live is sports.
Yeah.
And as long as that continues, then yeah, it's gonna be something that people that these networks are gonna buy it, are gonna pay for it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if you get rid of all the quote, the cost or whatever, that's part of it too. It's part of probably you know bringing in more talent because like I said, Shannon Sharp is still out there. We don't know what was gonna happen with him.
Yeah.
ESPN could lock him up.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on, Jay? Jay. Yeah, we already did, bro. That was the first. That was our first topic.
Yeah. That my bad. My bad, Jay. Yeah. Who we wanted to talk about that first? So
Yeah.
if you want to blame anybody, blame him. No, don't blame me. But it's all good. I'm glad that you're here, though, man. Well, okay. So let me read this one last bit, and then I'll say my one last piece, and then I guess we'll be finished. Um, ESPN will also signal to those with contracts coming up that is planned to be tougher in negotiations. It will still spend when it sees fit. As in case of Pat McAfee, whom the network recently linked to a 5-year deal in a neighborhood of $85 million for his show that begins in fall on ESPN.
Okay.
Executive believes McAfee deal will make the network money from day one. Those on air who were let go on Friday will likely be able to work at another network, but will still have to hash out the financial details with ESPN legal department. Yeah, that sucks. Of importance, Disney has made ESPN its own division, meaning in November it will break out its own earnings for the first time, which, despite cord cutting, are said to still be quite impressive according to sources. As part of the unbelieved internal network memo published Friday, ESPN in part wrote, in order to identify additional cost savings, ESPN determined it necessary to turn the cost management focus to public-facing commentator salaries that has process that process has begun. Man, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. I thought there was more important stuff than that, but
Yeah.
let me see. It's
And
important for you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It's important for you to know that these are difficult decisions involving individuals who have had tremendous impact in our company. They are based more on overall efficiency than merit, and we believe we will help us meet our financial targets and ensure future growth. Out of respect to all involved, we don't plan on releasing a complete list of names. Yeah, that's just typical. You don't want to give us more names. You don't want to give us more names. Like, I mean, we're eventually going to find it anyway. But you're just being a coward that you don't want to give us more names. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, I think they release way too many people. I think the show is going to get worse. Now, if they bring in more people like Pat, maybe the show will probably improve the overall ESPN overall. But let me also say this: there are many times the reason why a lot of times I don't listen to ESPN, and I'm not talking about the woke stuff, but the main sports that I care about is football and basketball. That's it. You know what I'm saying? The fact that I have options to listen to whoever on YouTube when it comes to football and basketball, whoever I want to listen to on let's say UFC. They don't cover, obviously, they don't really talk about soccer that you care about. They don't cover, obviously not going to cover like gymnastics and anything like that. To me, my overall opinion, to me, all the sports that you and I care for, we have so many options. Nowadays there are times that I completely forget about ESPN. Like I forget that it's even there because I'm so enticed when I have my phone and or when I'm on my laptop or when I'm on my tablet. I am ESPN is the last thing that I type on my YouTube channel. When I go on YouTube and I go in the search bar, I rarely ever go to ESPN. I go to these YouTubers that you go to, or if there is somebody that I like to watch, like let's say the guy that you don't like, Chris Broussard and Rob Parker, when I listen to their Odd Couple show, or when I listen to First Thing First, that's not ESPN. That's not none of that. None of those guys are ESPN. From ESPN. And what I think ESPN should have done is remove all the people who sucks. Malika Andrew sucks. Molly sucks. Kendra Perkins.
All the people you don't like.
He sucks. And
all the people you don't like.
And what's his no I started disliking Mika Andrews just recently.
So all the people you don't like, they should replace them.
They are garbage. Those guys are garbage. And don't say people who I don't like. You even said Kendra Perkins is garbage also.
It does stink.
All right. So you think he's garbage too? So don't.
Yeah,
so,
but I'm
not
gonna say he should lose his job. I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna listen to you. I'm not gonna listen to them talk.
No. What I said is that there are people who are better than him and everybody else. That's what I'm saying.
All right, but Steve, that's not how that works. That's not how this works.
What do you mean that's not how it works? Don't give me that crap now. You keep the person who is better. It doesn't matter if it's sports talk, and even when it comes to the NBA, what did you say? You want Damian Lillard because he is better.
Yeah.
Okay. So that applies for everything.
I don't give a shit about ESPN.
Who is better.
I'm not invested in ESPN. I don't give a shit if ESPN is good or bad. I don't fucking care. I care if they hear good and bad. That's the difference. Look, yeah, I mean, all these people who lost their jobs, I feel bad for them.
No, you don't.
I do. But it is what it is. We all know why they did it. They're just trying to save money. And normally the people who they're likely going to get rid of are people who are expendable, who make a lot of money but are expendable. Like Matt Kellerman, to me, is expendable. Keyshawn Johnson, expendable. Sully Colbert, expendable.
Jeff Why?
Yeah, expendable. Why? Because they're always gonna be able to find someone who's gonna do that job for cheaper. That's just how it is.
I disagree that Max Kellerman is expendable, but that's fine. I mean, that's fine if you feel that way, but I don't think he's. I think Max, does a very good job. The way he is able to explain and give great detail, I think he does a very good job. I think he's one of the best in the show. But it is what it is.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
it is what it is. So, I mean, I don't really have much else to say. I mean, Nolan said that McAfee is a personality that will elevate the brand, and Ruben said that Mac is worth it. That McAfee is worth it.
And you agree?
I mean, there's a reason why they give that dude a lot of money. There's a reason why, and he left, made a brand for himself, and now they came back giving him the bag. So
Do you think that what ESPN should do now is have somewhat of a similar style to the new media, adjust to what they're doing, be more
well,
of a chill, laid back instead of everyone in suits or whatnot. Like, what do you think they should do?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know. It is all I know is that currently, when it comes to the stuff that is important, that is the stuff that's important to them is obviously new media stuff, and when it comes to like countdown shows and stuff like that, I mean those shows suck. You need to do a better. You gotta do something to fix that. You gotta do something to fix that. As far as everything else, man, like I have no idea. 'Cause I don't know what the future holds. I really don't know what the future holds. As I always said that as long as you have live sports programming, you should be okay.
Mm-hmm.
You should be okay. I don't think ESPN I don't think ESPN is doomed because of this or anything like that. It just is just the nature of what their business is. Because remember they had massive layoffs a couple years ago. Where it was mainly like writers and producers, and it was people behind the camera that they laid off.
Yeah.
Now they did the same thing with some on air personalities. And it is what it is. Sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah. And do you think Todd McShay is also expendable too?
Yeah, they have dude, they have Mel Kiper in him. Like they're the same guy. One just older than the other, but they're the same guy.
Okay, so they're pretty much twins. Just one is older. Okay.
Yeah, like what do you need a draft? You need a draft expert or whatever? No, you already have. They have two of them.
Yeah, but you acting like as if he's not that he doesn't bring value into the table. I think he does. But look, at the end of the day, man, I feel bad for all these people losing their jobs. I don't, and I think it's going to be very difficult for them to just go to another network. Like not all of them could go to Fox.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
a lot of them gonna have to do their own. A lot of them gonna have to do their own thing.
Yeah, there's not that many jobs. There's not that many jobs out there. I feel bad. I wish them all the best. But yeah, ESPN, man, look, Jamal Green was right the whole entire time. The new media is taking over. I'm glad and still appreciate that I could do, talk about sports, along with you. And look, more people like us, the average people, and people who who did go into the NBA or in NFL is doing their own thing. People are going to start. They're going to start being magnets. People are just going to be drawn to them than constantly listening to ESPN all the time, where everything is just like you said, just boring. It's just boring to watch. I'm not interested anymore. These different personalities, they are the huge attention draw now, and Jamal Green predicted it, and he was 100% right. He was definitely on the money. That's all I have to say.
All right. On that note, let me get out of here because I'm about to fall asleep. So let me do a roll call. Jay, thank you for watching. Ruben, Nolan, thank you guys for watching. Let's see. Critical Drop, thank you for watching. Rudolphi, thank you for watching. Hey, bro, you can't let Steve talk to you like that, bro. You gotta respond. To Steve.
Yeah. Look. You know he's not. I knew he wasn't going to respond. That's why I had to say my piece. He accepts whatever the company gives him. That's why whenever I complain, he says, "Oh, I'm just complaining without giving me any reason." He doesn't even give me any reasons. But go ahead. Continue with the roll call.
Conspiracy Agent, thank you for watching. Kidbit, thank you for watching. And yeah, I think that's it. That's it.
Did you say? Did you shout out conspiracy agent?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then that's it. That's good.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note, hold on. Let me see. Oh, okay. All right. So
What?
he can't respond right now because he's driving heavy machinery. He's out here working. So
Okay.
don't worry. I just hope that you give Steve the smoke tomorrow. You give him the smoke tomorrow. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, he's not gonna give it to me, but that's fine. That's fine.
All right. On that note, this is Movie 186. Have a good night, you guys.
Yeah. So this is the Traditionalist 101. Please, if you can, share, subscribe, like, and we will continue to make more. The Traditionalist 101 signing out. Have a good one.